Fucking roll.
All right, we got the record is going. Let me get a little sip of Joe.
Man. What up, my people, my mother and people.
Yes.
We are back like we never mother booping left. You hear me?
Yes, indeed.
Welcome back to another edition of the Quality Minutes podcast. You know what I'm talking about?
Today we got a special guest. This week.
I'm very proud to introduce this brother right here, man. We go back like do-rags and waves.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like 4 flats on a Cadillac.
Oh,
you know what
okay.
I'm saying?
Hey, keep the lat.
If you're from Oakland County area, you probably seen this man on each basketball court around.
Ooh, he was going from court to court.
With a pair of J's on his feet and a pair of J's in his bag.
Coast to coast.
Oh, he keep the J's. He keep the J's.
One of the freshest people you'll ever meet in your entire life. Ladies and gentlemen, we have James Mother Boopin' Brown on here today. The legend.
Hey, give it up for him. Hey, we gonna drop one of Clue's bombs. What you know about it?
Breakfast Club.
All right, we ain't gonna steal that flow. But that was kind of solid though. We gonna drop another bomb. All right.
We got six right. That was real.
Ladies and gentlemen, like no, for real though, ladies and gentlemen. My man's right here.
For real.
We call him a legend, man. He's a stand-up fella, man. When it comes to hard work, Hall of Famers, man. You have to put this guy in a top tier percentage. You know what I'm saying? He's got a hell of a journey.
Yeah, let me jump in real quick. Let me just say something about this guy, man. Like, so I met him through Greg, but every time I run into this dude, man, he always got a positive attitude, man. He's always dude like super upbeat, man. He just a cool dude, man. So we appreciate you coming on here, man. For sure. We love that energy here.
Been through a lot of shit.
We
gonna get into it, but before we get into it, man, how's everybody's week, man?
Hey, man, still blessed up, man. I can't complain. Everybody's still safe out the way, man. Shit, money still flowing. You know, already knowing, you know what I'm talking about? So, we just good, man. What about you, JB? What's the good word over there, Playboy?
I'm Gucci, man. I was over here still being Bob the Builder, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They got here building houses up from the ground on. Trying to sideline. I will get there, though, but yeah.
Making your minutes count, baby. That's what it's all about.
Got to. Over here with the kids, helping out homework. Like I said, still building, doing me, man. Gotta go to work later, but
yeah, me too.
That's what it is.
That's quality minutes helping the kids with homework, man. That's definitely quality minutes.
Hey,
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Man,
especially when you don't really be knowing what they doing either. Y'all both don't know.
Hey, get to that moment, you got to look at the screen tough, like
what?
Oh, this different. It's different than when I grew up, man.
I used to have help Allie with her homework when she was at the Spanish school, and it was like 90% Spanish, 5% English. I'm like, I told her, she's like, come on, I don't speak no Spanish. I'm a black person. You know what I'm saying? I don't speak that. So now I'm in the room looking at Allie's homework. I'm Googling that junk like in Spanish, like, yeah, what's so and so mean? And like, oh, it means banana. And I'm like, man, come on, man, I can't be. Hey,
you know what's messed up about that, man? When your kid come home with a failing grade, that means y'all both failed.
Hey, I'll be looking at each other like
that means we both failed.
Right, like I guess we both
got a joint venture of failing.
I told you to carry the two, Dad.
Oh, my bad. Right. You know how that feels when you be wrong and your kid be right. Like, damn, you're right.
Right.
Go to your room.
Like, damn.
We all
this one was like, right.
Take your ass to your room, man. We don't want to do that shit.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
I commend everybody who do it, dog. I commend everybody
for
who
sure.
Who
Shout out to the parents, man.
You know
it's been a tough year. It's been a tough year for
man.
Parents, man, because parents don't have to step up in ways that they like haven't in a long time. So
test your mind. Test your mind for real. And if you ain't strong with it,
because it's the first time. It's the first time.
Gonna drown. You don't want that.
Hell no. It's the first time that like parents have to actually know technology first off, and have to remember stuff from school. So it's like we're back in school doing this shit.
Right. we had the computers. We had to put our fingers on the ASDF, whatever.
Oh, you talking about the typing classes?
You got to teach the kids that.
What was the name of that damn class?
Yeah, the keyboard. You can't get the keyboard.
Keyboarding?
Yeah, it was keyboarding. Yep, that was the class.
Let me tell you something though. That I had a keyboarding class. I think it was my 10th grade year. I had a keyboarding class. Like that was the most valuable class I ever had, man. That junk. I learned how to type. Yeah. That helped so much.
Right, for real.
Yeah, it did, man. Right. Just learning them home keys.
Ooh, the home keys.
Right.
Yes. The semicolon, JKL semicolon.
Throwback. Shout out to my old keyboarding teacher, wherever she was. Shout out to you.
Whoever she was. Shout out to her.
Yeah, man.
So another reason why we brought him on here, man. Like I say, he's a stand-up individual, man. It takes us kind of back to our last episode. If you haven't checked it out, go to livequalityminutes.com or YouTube Quality Minutes. And we had a conversation with our buddy Frank, who's a convicted felon.
Mm-hmm.
James actually has a similar type of story. You know, he was incarcerated for a while. The judicial system fucked him like they fuck a lot of people. So, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the main reasons why we brought him on here, you know, just tell his story and, you know, try to enlighten people of decision making. You know what I'm saying? So we're glad to have you here, my dog. We're definitely glad to have you here, my G.
Man, I'm glad to be here for real. I'm glad I'm here for real, man.
Glad you're here too, man.
So that year was a wild year.
Yeah. So what years were you well, kind of start from the beginning, man. Like, you know, the beginning of your story. Frank just kind of started where it all started, where he got into this I guess it wasn't a physical altercation initially. Like he was just having a conflict with a dude in high school that led up to an altercation in the cafeteria, man. So like how'd your journey begin?
Man, 2006. That was I'll never forget. That was the year.
I remember
2006.
That year too,
I just turned 21. And I had a job. I was working at Target. Shout out to Target, man. I fuck with them, man. That was the only job I enjoyed working at. Oh, so real? Yeah, that's the only job I enjoyed working at. I was in that bitch fooling, but yeah, shout out to them. But you know, I was going in a direction, and not a lot of people know, but child out here. I say alleged because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Blood test never got taken. I don't want to say I wasn't there, but you know, I was there, but I was kicked. I don't know how this makes sense, but I was kicked out of being a father. I'm trying to word that in the right, because it's like that whole situation with that in itself is how all this came about, me getting locked up. So I don't know if you remember, Greg, you know what I'm saying? Back I had the girl named Rachel, whatever. She was Inkster.
I do.
Hey, I don't know if nobody in Inkster no more. I don't even know what I was doing out there. Like, I was in Southfield. What you doing in Inkster?
Shout out to T. I got family in Inkster. I got some family from Inkster, man. Shout out to T.
You right.
Yeah. My family, my pops is from Westland, man. He went to Inkster High School.
Shout out to Inkster, man.
Man.
Honestly, when I hear dudes talk about like girls in Inkster, like it's never a positive story.
I've never got a good story.
I know a dude that's been shot in Inkster messing with a girl.
Girls with the projects out there, the gardens and the Saigon, these little projects and shit out there. Shout out to y'all, man.
Hey, right.
But I do remember that. I do remember that.
I was messing around with her. You know, she was my girlfriend. Then eventually, you know, in my head, well, not my head, I was gonna let her know. I wasn't gonna be no grimy nigga. But we was gonna break up. But then when she hit me with the I'm pregnant, I'm oh shit, here we go. And that was the first time I had to face that situation, being that I was 20. I was 20. I wasn't even 21 yet. I was 20 years old.
Sheesh.
Oh man. I didn't even have a job yet. You know what I'm saying? I had just came home from college. Shout out to Baker too, man. They closed down.
Shout out to Baker
Flint too, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at them. Hey, Baker
College,
was
Auburn
some shit
Hills,
though. But anyway, man. So I was in Flint, Michigan, but they was I just came home from college. You know what I'm saying? I met her, whatever. She got pregnant. She told me she was pregnant. I'm like, you know, to my surprise, I was happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, sure, what we gonna name it? Look, I even named the baby and everything, bro. I named the little girl. Shout out to her. I ain't gonna even, you know what I'm saying, hold her out like that. Her name is Amelia. Amelia Janice.
Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to you stepping up.
Yeah,
you know, it's a lot of brothers out there at 20 years old who would have been like
run away. Yeah,
would have been out. So I appreciate
clap
you.
for him.
Yeah,
Clap
okay,
up
we
for
gotta
him.
definitely
Man.
hold on. Where's my clap at? Yeah, we gotta give it up.
For sure.
And for all them cats who don't, you're a real piece of.
Yeah. Right. So, but yeah, man, I was like pushed out that little girl's life by her, you know, her mom and her grandma, and that really hit me hard. And I'm like, okay, I had to step back for a minute. So within all that situation, you know, I was supposed to have got the ride over there the next day to you know, I was gonna go out there. I'm like, hold on, you ain't about to just push me out my child's life, because she called her mom called my mom like, yeah, I don't think it's best for you and James to come out here, because I only seen her one time. I only got that hold of her one time when she was a baby, and that was the day the second day she came home from the hospital. I went out there to Inkster to see her, everything, held her and everything, and I was like, I'm gonna be back over here Tuesday to drop off, you know what I'm saying, some money, diapers, whatever it need, you know, the baby needed. You know what I'm saying? I was doing what I did, because I didn't even get to go to the hospital when she was born, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't sign no birth certificate or nothing, didn't do none of that. So she ended up having her early morning. I was out of there. And of course she was born in Garden City Hospital. I don't know what hospital was the name of it out there, but it was in Garden City. But yeah, I only seen her one time and got to hold her and everything. I was happy. You know what I'm saying? I was really happy, but I didn't have no job or nothing. But I was like, I'm happy I had a little girl. I'm about to do what I gotta do.
It's a life changing, whole baby.
Yeah. Yes, it was. My mama gave me an ultimatum like, look, you gonna go back to school, which was Baker and Flint, which I did not want to do at the time, because I had got kicked out the first time.
Used to be brutal up there, boy.
Go back to Flint. Man, we got
stories about that too.
I got stories about them, for real. It's made, shout out to them, man. It was mad stories up there.
Hey,
Christ.
Yeah, let me ask you real quick though. Like, what was the reason? Like, why was homegirl and mom like so adamant about you not being a part of the baby's life?
I don't know, because the killing part, because they was Christians. Mama stayed in the church, bro. Mama stayed in the church. Matter of fact, that's how I met her. She went to Wayne State. She went to Wayne State University. I used to go down there and be up in there partying, do everything, walking in the classrooms. I did all that, man. I was always with her, you know what I'm saying? But I was, shout out to Wayne State too, man. I stayed
walking in the classroom, you taking notes.
Swear to God, bro.
Hey, one thing for sure, though, like,
her, bro?
I can vouch for these quick. I can vouch for that, because that's not the only college campus that we raided, bro. You hear me?
You infiltrated.
Eastern Michigan, I used to be up there so much. Like, I went there.
Eastern, yup, me too. Shout out to them too. I was hooping outside the court. Girlfriend was a professor. My girlfriend was a professor. I'm outside hooping in the court, bro. Outside. It was summertime and everything. It was nice.
Crazy,
ain't nobody say nothing. I'm walking through the food court and everything. Ain't nobody say nothing. Shout out to Eastern too, man.
Niggas at the graduation, you know walking across the stage.
Right, at the graduation. I was sitting in the classroom. My girlfriend
name ain't on this list. The name is not on the list, man.
Got a book bag and everything.
Hey, but let me just say though, let me just say it real quick, man. Like, as somebody who grew up, you know, in the church, man, like, that don't mean nothing, man. Some of them
at all,
bro. The worst, most hypocritical, judgmental people. Some of the even the most judgmental people, like, are folks who sit in them church pews, bro. So that don't mean nothing.
Yes, bro. at all. And I didn't have
You
two
heard
of
the
them. I'm like,
stories
I
of
can't do
preachers'
it.
daughters, so you know. I'm just saying.
Right, you
I'm just
should.
saying. I'm just saying. So yeah, go ahead and finish up
real.
what
And
you
that's
was.
how it was.
So
yeah, her
yeah.
my mama stayed in the church all the time. Then, you know what I'm saying, me dealing with her, man, she'll leave church, take her mama car from church and come to my house, bro. That's when I stayed on 11 Mile and Greenfield. In the
Sheesh.
apartments, Cranbridge. That's what on what was that? Wednesdays and Sundays. The 2 days I seen her, then I throughout the week, I you know she'll come get me. I go come to school with her, whatever, sit there while she in class, be chilling. But she came to my house those 2 days after we left church, took the car and everything. Mama didn't know she was gone. Mama didn't even know she had a boyfriend, bro. Mama didn't even know she had her daddy was always on the road. He was doing his little music thing. Then he did heating and cooling, so he wasn't ever at home. So of course, Mama lonely. Of course, in her mind, she trying to protect her kid and all that. You know how that be.
Shout out to
You
Papa
know how
was
that
a
be.
Rolling
So
Stone.
Right. He was taking care of his other family. That's what he was doing. He was taking care of his other
man, for
family.
real. Every time she
He
tells
was
me, I'm
always on
like,
the road.
man, I'm like, he ain't never home. Always on the road. Like somebody he did. He was a musician. He was a drummer or something.
On the
So he
road.
did something.
Nigga
I'm
was
like,
on
what?
275 in Eureka.
Old as hell.
He was
When
3 blocks over.
Like when he touring.
On the road.
Hey man, he got kids to feed.
And
Other
I
places.
met him only one time. He do. I only met him one time, and that's when she had to break down and tell her mama and daddy she was pregnant. You know what I'm saying, with a baby, and they came over to my mom's house, and we all sat there and talked or whatever. And that was the last time I seen her daddy and her mama, honestly. But her mom, I don't know what it was, and she some struck her. She wasn't trying to mess with it. But I'm like, you can't get mad at me. Your daughter was the one sneaking out of church coming to see me. I wasn't forcing her to do nothing she didn't want to do. She did it on her own. So therefore, and it's not my fault she didn't tell you she had a boyfriend. She didn't have no boyfriend. So that being said, you know, I would have loved to met you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's family love me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a lovable guy. So I'm like, you know, I wouldn't have been tripping. You know,
the legend.
I wouldn't have been tripping. Right, all day. Hey, so you know,
so
I don't know what it was, but she just wasn't messing with me.
So take us to you say so you go over to the house, you hold the baby from the hospital. When she come home from the hospital, you say you're gonna drop some stuff off, and then what happened?
Yeah, Tuesday I was supposed to come back, me and my mom Tuesday, and I guess my mom got a call from her mom saying she didn't want me and her coming back out there. She didn't want me to keep the little girl's life and none of that. I'm like, what? I'm like, hold on now, we don't do that. What you talking about? So then she you know, the child's mom, Rachel, she ended up like hitting me up like asking me all these questions about information, where I live, my address. I'm like, whoa. See, I'm just wondering, you can't look. I always tell people you can never finesse it because because it's gonna come back. Like I'm like, what you need my address? I'm like, you trying to put me on child support, bro? I'm like, come on now. Like, what we doing here? You're not about to do that.
So she like, I don't want you in the baby's life, but I need your address.
Yeah.
Jesus
everything,
Christ.
Your name, your full name, everything. I'm like, what? I'm like, you don't need that. I'm like, you good. Who put you up to your mama? I'm like, yo, you ain't stupid, but you ain't smart enough to be thinking about that though.
Yeah.
You ain't on that tip. So your mama put you up to this. I'm like, girl, if you don't get off time, and I was like, this is crazy. So then that following, I was at work. I got off work that day. The following day, and I was gonna have, you know, one of the guys, you know, along, you know, one of my rappies take me out to her house. I was gonna, cause I couldn't drive. My license was through and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I was gonna have him drop me off over there, cause these the police. They be hiding in the bushes. You hear Dearborn?
Yep.
And they come jumping on you. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? You be like, damn, these niggas they caught my ass. But so I know chances out there. So I was gonna have him take me out there, and then it all unraveled from there. Then I got off work that night. You know, contacted him about whatever with the group. Never was informed about nothing that was going down. none of that. Because like I said, I just got a job. You know, I was happy I got a because after I had met her parents and all that, I'm like, okay, I got to step up there. Ain't no going back to school. I got to get a job. So Target finally gave me a chance. You know, gave me a shot because I was putting mad applications in that Target. Like that's why I said I fucked with them because I was trying to get in there bad, and that nigga Miles got me in there.
Shout out to my nigga Miles, man.
Yeah. Hashtag persistence. Way to keep it going.
For real. So it got me in there. So I was doing my thing. I'm like, okay, cool. I can take care of the baby, do what I gotta do. And when I got hit with that bombshell call, I'm like, what you mean don't come out there no more? Don't do this, don't do that. Like, this is my child. Like, I gave that kid the name that she has. So yeah, everything just unraveled from there. Got off work. My mom came pick me up from work that night, dropped me off over there to their house. And that's everything unfolded from there. And shout out to Nextel too, because I had 2 Nextels on my hip. I'm chirping one girl, and I'm trying to talk to the baby, because I had got a girlfriend after I had stopped messing with the baby, the baby mom, situation. I had a girlfriend out in Oak Park I had started messing with, and she knew about the baby and everything, because I never kept none of that a secret. I always told, I was standing up about that and everything. She knew about the whole situation and everything. He supported it, was by my side on it. So I didn't put her in nothing. She didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Want to blindside her or nothing. So
let me pause real quick, man. Hold on real quick, man. You over here you dropping a few gems. I don't know if you dropping it, but like shout out to just being honest and upfront. Like
yeah, man,
walk around here lying and be holding stuff back. Like dog, just be honest.
Stand up,
guy, because I could have easily held that back. It's an old girl in Inkster. I'm on Old Park. It's Old Park Southfield. So that's who gonna know something. So I'm like, I was truthful to her, whatever, So she knew what was going on. But I'm arguing with both of them on the phone. I got both phones like this, and I'm like.
So right now, so you're in the car right now at your people.
Yeah, I'm in the car.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at the people. Yeah, we're in the car, and then all this is transpiring. So I'm like, I ain't really paying no attention to none of that shit, honestly. I just know we skirted out, and shout out to my mama. She didn't. When I came home, she moved back over to the same spot we got caught at. I'm like, Mama, what you doing? Like,
wow.
When the police caught us at over there on Civic Center in Lawson, it's the same spot I got caught at. That's what she moved to when I came home. I'm like, why the fuck I'm back over here, dog? Like,
okay,
that shit was like deja vu, bro.
So just to keep y'all up to par what's going on right now. So he's talking about the event that got him incarcerated. That particular night, James was riding with a few people, end up getting arrested. What did you get arrested for, James?
Man, they hit me with, first of all, I think they hit me with the armed robbery first, if I'm not mistaken. And then they only had one charge on me, so they couldn't make that stick. So they had to give me the second one, which was the conspiracy to armed robbery, in order to make it stick for me to go down, get locked up. And I'm like, I didn't know, we don't know as we young, we don't know about the law, you know what I'm saying? And in that particular time, that's how I felt after the police, because they was on some bullshit that night and that whole time period. But I shout out to God too, man. I swear, I always say this, man. I always say this, and I said God did that for a reason, because at that time, though, I ain't gonna even lie, man. After hearing about the baby situation and how that her mama was treating me and everything, I was wild. I ain't gonna lie. Wow, all I cared about was hanging with my niggas, hooping, working, getting money, and buying clothes and shoes, dog. I ain't gonna lie, I was feeling like Birdman. Number one stunt.
Hand rub.
But right. But no, I was enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? I was having fun as a kid, and I had just turned 21, and I ain't gonna lie, I was wild, man, because I was even thinking about buying a gun at that time, like just. Because I didn't know what was going on. There was a lot of stuff going on. Greg, you already know what it was, bro, out there around that time when we was going through and shit. And
yeah.
I'm like, man, I was I was just like, I gotta watch my back, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of shit going on, and I was gonna buy a gun and everything, but God had stopped me in that moment. Like, no, I'm about to sit you down. I didn't know it was gonna be for that long, but he sat me down, and I can honestly say, it made me think. Like, I ain't never did as much thinking as I did that 4.5 years, as I did in there on the outside, because I was just living life one day, you know what I'm saying? Going with the motion, going with the flow, doing what I had to do, you know what I'm saying, to survive and everything. So, and I wasn't in trouble like that, but I had fun. So,
do me a favor, like that night, like when y'all were riding, you know what I'm saying? And you were on the phone, you said you ain't even know what was going on. Give me the thoughts of, give me your thoughts when they got when they got back in the car and y'all took off. Like, what the fuck was your reaction? Like, was you mad? Like, was you cussing these niggas out?
Yeah, cause I was like, what's going on? Cause I don't know if we can sound we want to say nobody's name.
Yeah, we ain't gotta say no
name.
You ain't gotta say no names.
Two of them got the car and all that and came back. I'm like, damn, what y'all niggas on? You know what I'm saying? You know, they had the guns on. So I'm like, oh, this nigga's violent. So I had to hang the phone. I was talking to my girlfriend at the time. I hung the phone. That was the last time I talked to her. Hung the phone up. All I know, we speeding up the parking lot. I'm like, damn, what? Oh boy, like, oh, I got the wallet. I'm like, nigga, what the wallet? I'm like, nigga, look, nigga didn't even have no money, bro.
Baby.
Come to find out, later on in the paperwork, they said the man never had no money. He had just deposited his money. He was a truck driver. Shout out to him, man, because he didn't ask for no restitution or nothing. He didn't come to court, testify, none of that. He didn't even care. He just like, let me get my wallet back so I can go about my business. Because he was a truck driver, and so he didn't, he was cool, I know, like, cause I didn't know who he was. No, he didn't put no badness on. No, he just said, I put my shit back. I'm about my business. It was all up to Oakland County, to fuck us over. So
Jane, to be clear, like, so you in the car, you dealing with your lady situation, baby mama lady situation. You in the car, just dealing with that, right?
Hang up from that,
and then. But at the same time, like, this other stuff is going on. Like, my man's out here wilding outside the car, and you ain't even really anticipate that.
Yeah, both of them. Not even right, and not at all. And it was dark outside and everything. So I'm just like, okay, bro. We drive off. All I hear is like, yeah, we gotta get out of here. You gotta get out, because I didn't recognize the area at all at first. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know we was on Telegraph. I didn't know we was cross Telegraph or none of that, bro. Because I never really been on that side of town until that night. You know what I'm saying? Because the time I was staying, was I staying in Oak Park or was I staying in South? I can't really remember. But I wasn't staying on that side of town though. I might have been in Oak Park, but might have been staying in Oak Park at that time. And no, apartments over there. And I didn't know that other side of town, cross Telegraph and all that. So when we over there, I'm like, I'm like, bro, what y'all doing? So we got out of here, got the wallet and all that shit. So we get to what's that? Civic Center. So we cross over Telegraph. And me in my mind, if I would have knew back then, if I would have knew everything that transpired, I'm like, bro, if you trying to get back, we trying to get back across 8 Mile. We trying to get back to, matter of fact, 7 Mile in Greenfield. That's what we were trying to get back.
Southfield, if you want to commit crimes.
At all. And I knew that. I'm like, I stay in Southfield. I know that. I'm like, bro, come on, you can't be out here doing that.
Yeah, you gotta get across the 8.
Hey, man.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you know what I'm saying?
Now we're in Michigan. Southfield is a pretty, I won't even say lavish area, but it is a place where
it used to be.
You don't want to be in the middle of like the center of Southfield trying to get out, because you got to go through some shit to try to get out of there.
because you got cities like Birmingham and Berkeley and cities like that. That's right next to Southfield. So you do not want, like, you do have 8 Mile on the other side of 8 Mile, but like you don't want to run into Birmingham when you trying to hit the hijinks.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No.
Oakland County is not a place to F around. You know, they would try to throw the book at you.
That's why niggas don't cross 8 Mile. Niggas be scared to cross 8 Mile. I know, I'm straight.
Right. Next thing you know,
Next thing you know, I'm like,
oh no. Okay, yeah. So once you seen that, James.
So yeah, so
what
we
was
get
your
to
reaction?
Civic Center. We get to Civic Center in Lasher, right there by the liquor store, Majestic. Shout out to them. They was cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? I messed with them when I was living over there. But shout out to them. But we was on Civic Center in Lasher, and at that light, and oh boy, he swerved over like, you know, he was like this at the light, but trying to get straight. I'm like, man, what are you doing? I'm like, he trying to fumble to get back to 8 Mile and all that, and me again.
He was driving hot too.
Yeah, because he was driving his mama's car. Driving his mama's car.
Not my Duke's car. No.
He was driving hot.
He was driving Mom Duke's car, bro. And if I would have knew then that area again, we could have made a right and could have shot straight down the 8 Mile. Would have been 8 Mile. In fact, we would have been to his crib because he was closer by that way anyway. Because we was going to cross to the 8. But I didn't know that area, so I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? And my mind fumbling. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Next thing you know,
yeah.
the police are called. So we at that, Civic Center right here, and the police on Lasher at the light. They like this. So they at the light, so they see us because they had, whoever called the police said it was a white car. I think it was driving a white car too, though. So the police end up, they gave them a description card of us too.
Hold on, before you finish. Ladies and gentlemen, first, a couple of gems he just dropped for you. First, make sure you're looking around when you're on two next hills arguing with women.
Yes.
2,
Yes.
make sure.
The church used to be loud though. They could be distracted. But if you got 2 on both sides, you definitely don't know what's going on.
Number 2.
I'm doing too much.
Number 2, please know your scenic routes to get the hell out of any situation that you might be in. Know where you're going and know your location.
Know where you are.
Please.
Thank you.
3,
please
do not rob anybody in a white car that belongs to your mother in the middle of Southfield and then drive like you have no goddamn sense. Please.
You probably want to adhere to traffic laws if you are just trying to get away safely. Anywho, go ahead.
Please have the right getaway drivers, please.
Right.
Go ahead, continue, James.
Right. So the police ended up stopping us, man. If it was an unmarked car. As a matter of fact, this guy wasn't even on duty. I don't even know. The whole shit was just crazy to me because the police came out of nowhere, bro. And see, I didn't know the police station was right down the street off Evergreen. You know what I'm saying? All they had to do was come straight down that Civic Center Evergreen. Didn't know that either. He was right by the police station. How you think about that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like that was scenario 2. Please know your location.
Yeah, please.
Hold on, real quick. To the getaway driver. You dropped the ball that night, bro. You dropped the ball.
Wow. Bring your shoulder to the screen so I can tap it.
I wish I would knew my location.
All right. Christ. My bad. Go ahead.
Jeez.
But so they end up, you straight. But they end up unmarked car. He thought this nigga was driving a Blazer. I think he did have an old ass Blazer. You know them old ass Blazer. Either he had a Blazer or he had a Jimmy. He had one of them old ass trucks.
Damn, I had one of them boys.
There was 2 police cars. Right, you did. Because your mama had.
Damn. Shout out to the
Willis.
Jimmy.
Jesus.
Yeah, she had that boy. That's a classic.
Jesus Christ. Throwback boys. Throwback.
That's a terrible name for a vehicle, dog. A Jimmy? Jimmy? My bad.
Terrible.
Yeah, they was running out of ideas at GM. Like, man, let's just make this bitch the Jimmy.
We gonna call it the Jimmy.
GMC Jimmy. Like, what? GMC Jimmy?
They got rid of that truck immediately.
But they quick. But they pulled us over in the Majestic parking lot, that liquor store parking lot, and they started searching us and everything. And I had money on us. And the police tried to give it back to, you know what I'm saying, the guy who they robbed. And he like, that's not my money. That's how I found out he had made a deposit already before prior to them, you know what I'm saying, robbing him or whatever.
Right.
He like, no, that's not my money, and we'll do it. So I was like, shout out to him because he ain't, he wasn't no grimy dude. He was just a hard working man, put in quite a minutes too. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a truck driver. And, I know he was getting bread, so I'm like, damn, it is what that was. But I know the police took my shit, so fuck the police. But anyway,
I agree.
Southfield police. That was my first encounter with them niggas, man.
So let me ask you. So they pull y'all over, they search the car, they try to take your bread.
And they find the wallet. They find my man's wallet in the glove box. After I told him, boy, man, throw that shit out. What you got the wallet for? He ain't no money.
Man, why the fuck did they still have it?
When you have it, no.
Poor judgment.
Like, well, I'm gonna take the car.
There's a lot of bad decisions this evening.
I'm gonna take the car for it. And like a motherfucker, bro. And I'm the oldest in the car. That's the killer part. That's the crazy part. Because I was 21 and the other two was 19 and the driver was 20. So I was the oldest. So of course, you know what I'm saying, they was trying to hit me with everything. But not with everything, but they were trying to hit me with one of the guns. And one of my rappers, he stepped up and was like, no, that's not his. But I'm like, well, shit, y'all should just told him I had nothing to do with that shit all the way around.
Exactly.
I really didn't know what was going on.
Exactly.
I had a new job. You know what I'm saying? I had a baby mama situation already at the age of 21. Like, nigga, I had problems already. I didn't need this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, so they, like I said, they searched the car with that, found the wallet. So they ended up locking us up. And one of the officers was like, you know, y'all about to do 25 to life. And this is my exact words to the police. I swear to God, out my mouth, I said, you got me fucked up. I'm not doing shit. And he was like, all right, we're gonna see. All right, we're gonna see, nigga. So he stuffed. So they put two of us in one car and put the other two in the other car, whatever. So
let me ask you this: how was that?
Get to the station.
Like, hold on. So you and your man's in the car. What was, I know y'all was having a quiet conversation between each other. Like, what was that conversation in the car on y'all way to the precinct?
It really wasn't, we couldn't really say shit because, you know, the officer in there, and I don't want to be saying shit to communicate like the whole time. They didn't want us conspiring a story or nothing, which I'm surprised they stuffed us in the car two at a time, you know what I'm saying? But they weren't allowing us to say shit. Then when we got to the station, of course, they tried to separate us, talk to us, you know what I'm saying, interrogate us or whatever. And the detective, he told me, he this is why I lost my respect for the police, on all honesty. When he called me, I encountered my first racial situation, and it ended up being with the police. That's why I be strong about it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the ones who do protect on a good note and don't be on no BS, but the rest of y'all, you know what I'm saying, I don't fuck the police. And I told the police that one time, like, I don't fuck with y'all, you know, so I wouldn't make no statement to you about nothing. So I don't know what you want me to do. I told them on a recent situation I just got into, but I'm wrestling. That's why I don't fuck with wrestling either. Anyway, that's another story. So he like, you niggas think I'm stupid. He like, I work such and such amount of years for Highland Park Precinct, and because I'm telling him, but I don't know what, you know what I'm saying, I don't know what they want me to tell you, because I can't tell you shit, because I don't know shit really, like, what the fuck conspired until you caught us, so I don't know what to really say to you. Well, your friends already told on you to do. I'm like, well, look, man, I can't vouch for none of that, because I ain't do shit, so I can't really tell you that shit. So they like, well, he like, that's when you call me the nigga, like, you niggas think I'm stupid, whoop. Just going in and trying to go in on me with it. I'm like, all right, man.
So this is a white officer.
Yes, white
calling
officer.
Y'all niggas and
white.
Okay.
Right, yeah, white.
Can we get that officer the biggest boo that we have?
Oh yes, we could definitely. Excuse me, officer, and any other officer that decides to call the young black man out of their name for no apparent reason.
Oh.
Yeah,
you son of a bitch.
And you're a piece of all day.
So also,
right.
So they got you guys in different rooms. They're telling you guys that everybody's telling on each other and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
How was though? My question is like, I'm trying to get to your mental of it, like, because now you're inside of, you know what I'm saying, the actual jail. What was like the first phone call? Like, you know what I'm saying? How could you explain that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you say? Like, because I couldn't even imagine. You know what I'm saying? I get to this bitch, I'm in the clink, I don't know what's going on. First person you call was who?
Right. Honestly, that's the only number I already knew. I didn't know nobody else know about Hart, you know what I'm saying? Because we was out here chirping, you know what I'm saying? I knew niggas church numbers, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
yeah. Hey, I knew that, but I ain't know nobody actual phone number but my mama. So, you know what I'm saying? Of course, when I got back into the holding cell, I called her and, you know, told her, you know, everything that was going on. Well, when they finally gave me my phone call, because I didn't get one off the bat right away, I had to wait. So when they finally gave me my phone call, that's why, you know, I had to call because I'm like, they had my phones, and I'm like, well, can you unlock my phone so I can get the phone numbers out of it? You know what I'm saying? So they like, oh, okay, you can do that. But they don't. No, they ain't let me do that. They did it themselves. Then gave me the phone number. I'm like, man, niggas some hoes. So yeah, I had to call my mom and let her know what was going on and everything. So then when they supposed to, they didn't. When they did us all together, as far as giving us our bond, they did us all together. They did that shit on purpose, being that the fact they was gonna give us each $500,000 bonds. So my bond was $250,000. And
Jesus
because
Christ.
when we got in there to talk to the magistrate, all four of us, they asked us each, did we have a lawyer? So when they got to me, I'm like, at this time I was bluffing because I ain't no damn lawyer yet, but I was gonna get one. I wasn't gonna fuck with them, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that much, so I'm like, yeah, I got a lawyer. This is that same cop, the DA that called me a nigga. He come out his mouth because he was in there with us. He was like, well, how much money you got in your bank? This is the exact words out his mouth. He said to me, how much money do you have in your bank account? How can you afford a lawyer? I'm like, what?
You worry about the wrong thing.
Right. But so he just berating you and just disrespecting you the whole time.
Yeah, just disrespecting. I'm like, okay.
I hate cops like that, man.
I'm like, you know what? I'm like, just give me a lawyer. So they ended up giving me a court-appointed lawyer, whatever, for the time being until my mom found me one or whatnot. And so I had him seen the guy like what? A total number of maybe twice, I'll say. Maybe that. You know what I'm saying? And I already knew he was on some BS. I'm like, man, this nigga ain't for real, dog, about nothing. I'm like, no. I told my mama, I don't want this mother. You know what I'm saying? I want you to find me a lawyer you can pay for, so I'll be straight. So she's like, okay, well, I'll do that with you, boo. So my cousin ended up finding me somebody that she knew through somebody, and he was a lawyer out of Wayne County. And I think his last name was Fox. I can't remember his whole name, but I ain't like him either because he was on some bullshit. He said some bullshit to me. I'm like, bro. I'm like, this is what he said to me. He said, if you was in Wayne County, Mr. Brown, I could get you out of this situation. But you're in Oakland County.
I don't want to hear that.
I don't know. And he was like, if you want to go to trial,
what you mean? What?
But I went. This is his exact words out his mouth, bro. $10,000. My mom and grandma dropped down on him. $10,000, and that was his exact words to me. I'm like, what? I'm like, well, I'm in Oakland County. So what the fuck can you do in Oakland County, bro? I'm like, what County got to do with this? You knew you was coming to, so what?
To the lawyer, Mr. Fox, or whatever your name is.
I don't even know. I can't even remember his name.
Word to the wise. First of all, please don't tell somebody who's 21 facing armed robbery charges. Don't tell me you can get me out somewhere else than I am. Please. That is not motivation that I need to hear while I'm in this business.
Hey, look, and you know, here's what I'm hearing, like, from your experience, Jay, and even Frank's experience. Like, they take advantage of like young people going through these situations. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for real.
You 21, Frank was 18. They, you know, we don't really know much about the justice system at that time, so they be going here just telling us anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
So
yeah, right, for real, they do just be on tip with it, like, you know what I'm saying, like they fooling. So I'm like, you know, so like I said, my mom ended up hiring this lawyer because she ended up firing the court appointed. Because like I said, that nigga went on vacation. That nigga said I was going on vacation. When I come back, I'll holler at you. I'm like, nigga, no, you good.
What?
That's what the court appointed.
When I come back,
that's what the court appointed said to me. I'm like, nigga, what? I'm like, nah, you straight, bro. Wow. I'm like, mama, you got to, because nigga, somebody going on vacation. Nigga, what? No, so
Bermuda, folks, this is what young people are having to going through that system, man. Like, that's crazy. Because, you know, like, I feel like a good attorney, somebody who's really representing you, the first thing they would have say was like, all right, let me see your phone records. Because if you could prove that you was on the phone with them 2 girls at the time, like, and you just came from work and all that, like, that would make for a case. But these cats is talking about if you was in Wayne County. What you mean?
Brother,
Yeah.
please.
Am I not your client?
And then Southfield. Right. So then Southfield was like I said, they hit me with the conspiracy because they only had me for armed robbery, and they really couldn't. Like, I think either they hit me with the conspiracy first or the armed robbery was one of them. They hit me with, but then they had added the second one on to make it stick because they didn't have nothing on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I honestly didn't do shit, so they couldn't really stick nothing on me. So they just like, okay, we're gonna make this one up, get him this hit. They gave us all the same thing, but the other 2 had weapons. So of course they got weapon charges. So they like, well, we gotta hit him with this, so we can order to make a stick. And it's crazy because the driver had a quarter point the whole time, and me and him got the same time. That's the crazy thing. I'm like, but I might well kept the damn quarter point and took my chances. Instead of wasting 10,000, you know what I'm saying? Still got the same time.
So how long did they give y'all?
They gave me 51 months, which was 4.5 years. They gave the driver same thing. They gave and it was a handgun and a sawed-off shotgun used in our case. So the guy, of course, they tried to hit me with the sawed-off, but the rappy who it belonged to, he stood up for that one and like that was his. He took that. I can't say he did that for me because they was gonna hit me with that bitch. I'm like, boy, y'all didn't even got my fingerprints on that shit, nothing. How you gonna hit me with something that I never even touched? You know what I'm saying? So by me being the oldest, you know what I'm saying, that's what they was gonna hit me with. That's what they said. So
hey,
but he ended up sticking up for that, like, oh, that's mine. Took that.
Hey, so what did the case go to trial, or you end up taking a plea? Because that's usually the case. Like they try to press you to take the plea.
No. I honestly say I took the plea because after my lawyer told me what he told me, I'm like, I didn't feel comfortable. I'm like, nah, because that would have been my luck. Going like I take it to trial, and then this and the third happened, and I ended up getting more time for something I didn't even do. Right, and I didn't even do shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, that wasn't about to happen. So I'm like,
that's tough, man.
I'm good. So I had to end up taking the plea because I'm like, I didn't feel safe with none of that shit, dog. And then shout out to my niggas who came to court for me.
Gang. I will say
y'all had the shirt, the freebie shirt.
Yep. No, that was one of the dog.
Niggas had the freebie. They had the.
I remember that shit vividly, man.
They sent y'all out like y'all gotta take that shirt off or leave.
That shit was one of the most traumatic joints ever. Like, cause just 24 hours beforehand, we was just chilling. You know what I'm saying? We chilling and he talking to us about his kid and his girl shit, and we just having a drink and just, you know what I'm saying? And then the next day, early that morning, somebody called my phone like, nigga, you ain't gonna believe this, dog. This nigga James locked up. I'm like, locked up for what? Like, armed robbery. I'm like,
who would have thought me? I'm
like, that's the freshest. It's one of the freshest people I know. Why the fuck would he be out stealing shit? You know what I'm saying?
Right. All right.
That shit threw us for a loop, bro. Like when we heard how much his bond was, that's when we knew shit was real. Like, damn, man, we can't do shit to get this nigga out.
Like, he was right, 250,000. I'm like, nigga, you know, goddamn well, none of us got that shit.
That's
so we
crazy.
in that bitch.
But that's nobody get out. That's how they get you, man. Like, first of all, they set that bond astronomically high. Like, they know most people can't pay for that. Then they say, listen, you know, if we take it to trial, you might get 25, 30 years, you know what I'm saying? So if you take that plea no contest, you know, we'll get you 3-4 years or so, but we're gonna stamp you with that, you know, with that felony, you know, that felon. That's
a
lose-lose situation.
Can't win
all the time. That was my first offense. That was my first time being locked up for anything like crazy like that. So that's what I'm saying. They had to hit me with that second charge in order to make it stick. See, my whole time I'm thinking that's one charge. That's 2 different charges. So if I try to get that expunged, they're gonna hold me because they're gonna like, well, you got 2 felonies and you can't expunge that because it's 2. And then they say that's a violent crime. So I'm like, that's why I was learning about this whole crime and everything the whole time going through this process.
Let me ask you, James.
It was a violent crime.
So during the process, like when you sitting when you were talking to your lawyers, did you even think like, I'm gonna get locked up for this? Like they gonna lock me up for this. Did you ever think that, or was you like, nah, I wasn't even involved. There's no way they gonna put me behind. Did you? What was your thoughts?
Smitty, bro. On some real shit, when I was in Oakland County, bro. Like I said, I think God, He said, "Look, I'm gonna sit you down, but I'm gonna protect you through this whole thing, bro." Because I feel like I had a shield on me the whole time, because that whole time being in Southfield jail to getting transferred to Oakland County OCJ, my mind, I wasn't hold you up or nothing. I was a little nervous, but I wasn't scared. I just was like, because when I was younger, I remember as I'm like 5'6". I might have been a little older than that. We used to go visit my brother because he was locked up. He was locked up. He got locked up when I was born, actually. No, matter of fact, when I was 1. He got locked up when I was 1. And he was up in Jackson. And we used to go visit him when we was younger. And I used to be like, man, I'll never get locked up. I can never be in the jail shit. I can never do, you know what I'm saying? Because me, my mom, and my sister used to go visit him. And I'm like, this is crazy. They used to be crazy back then, so just imagine, you know what I'm saying, what it was back. You already know what it was back then. Them niggas were savages. So anything could have broke out, you know what I'm saying? But he got locked up at 16, and they took his whole life, you know what I'm saying, away from him. You know, he did a 20. Damn. He did a 20 piece, 20 plus. Matter of fact, he came home the same year I came home. In 2010, he came home January 2010, and I came home November 2010. He was locked up that long, from 16 all the way up until then. And he didn't see no prom. He didn't see Sweet 16. He didn't see none of that shit, because he was see, my daddy's side of the family, was from Southwest Detroit. And that's where he mostly, you know, he grew up at. And my mom raised him, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Joy Road. So he came over our house or whatever here and there. And my mom raised him, but his mom wasn't really shit. And my daddy wasn't shit. So, you know, he didn't have nobody but my mom when she was on our side of town. So, you know, he got locked up for a murder. He shot a guy for his friend, you know what I'm saying? For his friend, shot a guy because the nigga owed him money. And his friend was a weak ass nigga, ain't want to do nothing about it. So my brother, being a young nigga as he was,
took actions in his own hands.
In his own hands.
Doing what he thought he was supposed to do.
Yeah, man. Right. Because he was running with, I later found out, you know what I'm saying, through a phone call when I was locked up in there. He had, you know, I talked to him when he was on the outside. I had talked to him when I was still locked up. And he had got home. And he had told me, like, yeah, bro, I was with, I never told you, but I was with BMF and this, you know, such and such. I'm like, yeah, I know about that. I'm like, damn, you was? Because, you know, I didn't know they originated from Southwest. So, yeah, all that, River Rouge and what's the other one? The other one I got, but yeah, Southwest, that shit deep as hell out there. So I'm like, damn, hell no, that's crazy as hell. But our relationship never really grew as I thought it was gonna do, but it is what it is. But anyway, but yeah, that whole time I was in OCJ, but my mindset was just, because they kept us separated, you know what I'm saying? So they want you to be scared and confused and this and that. But at this point, I'm just like, bro, just in my head, I'm like, just put me in the cell so I can just do what I gotta do. But you know what I'm saying? So I never was in no bullpen with a bunch of niggas, you know what I'm saying? They always had me in a separate room, and they had everybody else, they had all the rest of everybody else, the other 3 rappers in separate rooms. We never when we got processed, they had me in grades. I guess grades is medium level.
Yep, oranges is high level.
Shit too. If you never been to OCJ, it's level. No, the white is the white is the crazy niggas. The white is the crazy niggas. They got their own flow and everything. Then the orange niggas, that's the murderers and the rape, all them crazy motherfuckers. Then grays is like robbery and carjacking.
The blues is what I was wearing. Just little petty pet bullshit ass crimes.
Petty shit, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they kept everybody separate. So it was mixed in. You stay with your color, because they ain't want nobody mixed with gray being with no blue. Cause that's how fights and shit break out. Or everybody was in their own separate level on the floors or whatever. So they started me off in a one-man cell, bro. And I think they was trying to break me, but I was in there straight. I'm like, bro, just give me a pen and paper. I'm in that bitch singing. Look, all the songs I learned on the street.
I
used to be in there. Hey, I used to be in there singing them bitches loud as hell, bro. I didn't even care. I was just in my own zone, bro. I was thinking about everything. I was something like that. I think about a song, the singing that shit.
Man, if you don't get your
Teddy
Pendergrass.
But
what?
So let me ask you this, man. So what was the transition from like, okay, because you know, during the case you were in Oakland County, right? During the whole like proceeding of the case.
Yeah.
So what was it like when you first got on the bus to go to the main boy? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So man, that's crazy. So they when I left OCJ, I think I was there for like 55 days. I was in OCJ for 55 days, and then they shipped me out. When you leave there, you go to Jackson. But when I left, when I was in that one-man cell, they ended up taking me out the one-man cell and put me in a 10-man cell. So I was on a cell block with like 4 cell blocks and 4 cells, and I was in a cell with 9 other niggas. So they took me out thinking I was like, they thought I was going crazy or something. Like, I was straight, you know what I'm saying? I was in there just chilling, watching TV. I go to sleep. They try to break you mentally, but I was good there, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I got my phone call when I needed it. You know, my mom came to see me. You know, sister came to see me and all that stuff. Through the glass. So then they had moved me like, well, we're gonna move you and we'll put you in population. I'm like, oh, here we go, this shit. I'm like, all right, whatever, dog. So I'm in there with 9 other niggas. A couple of dudes from Pontiac. See, and that's how I found out Pontiac niggas didn't really like Detroit niggas too much. That's when we was on the street.
Mm-hmm.
When I got in there, I didn't have no problem about no Pontiac niggas. They showed nigga love. You know what I'm saying? My cellmate, one of my cellmates, he was a cool older nigga. His name was Dirk.
Shout out to the Yak.
His name was Dirk.
Right. Shout out to the
Shout out to the Yak. He was cool as hell. And we had a few other young guys in there. I was in there. Matter of fact, shout out to another guy. I was locked up in there, a young dude. He was young as hell too, like 18, 19. His name was Willie. I forgot what he was in there for, but young cat. He used to get mail from his girl, right? And he was like, "Hey, bro, can you read this for me or whatever? What you do?" And he like, "So what you think I should write back?" I used to get letters and everything from, you know, moms and, you know, the baby mom. She used to start writing. She sent me a picture of the baby or whatever. You know, I was writing letters, you know, getting mail or whatever in there. And my girlfriend was writing me too at the time. And he was like, "Bro, what do you think I should write back?" So I helped him write. I wrote a letter. I wrote it for his girl. Shout out to that girl too. I don't know what happened with them, but I wrote a letter for my man's, and he said, like, "Bro, good looking."
Hey, you wasn't writing no sex letters for him, were you?
Right, please. No sex novels.
No.
I would love to see her.
No.
Like, fam, what you say you want to do with her legs? You say you want to do what?
Right. But he was like, "Hey, bro, just make a little love, you know, because, you know, he ain't know nothing about no love, you know what I'm saying? He young nigga, all he trying to do is get the hit or whatever. And I'm still young my damn self. I'm 21.
Yeah, so, yeah.
For him to ask me that, I'm like, damn, I felt honored. Like, damn, okay, I got you, bro. You know what I'm saying? It worked out. But I was in there for like 55 days. So then they came and got me, shipped me out. Then they sent me to Jackson. They sent me up to Jackson, Michigan. That's where they call it quarantine. That was the first quarantine I heard ever in life. Like, quarantine, what's that? Like, what they doing in that? Like, right. That's when they send you to Jackson, Michigan to quarantine. Right, what is that? And you gotta get processed. They test you for, you know, of course, diseases and stuff like that. Give you a physical. They give you a haircut if you want it, or all that little nonsense shit. Basically, get processed. So you be there in the cell. You might have a cellmate, you might not. It's this big ass cell block, like that bitch long as hell, bro. Like, I forgot how many tiers it was, but it was long as hell. With niggas locked up in it. And I think I have my own cell. I was straight. That's when I started getting commissary in. My mom, you know what I'm saying? She was the only one sending me money and stuff. So I get my little commissary and be chilling. I was good. As long as I had my food, and I had started reading books in there. little, you know what I'm saying, little novels and shit like that. I still was singing. I ain't care. Niggas was like, man, shut up, dog. I'm like, man, fuck what y'all talking about. I'm A-Con that be like,
the
reasons why we're here.
Hey, nigga, I used to sing every song that came to my mind, like in there.
Friday night, Friday night, oh yeah, well, all right, GBDB,
and that bitch, hey, choir boy,
yo, shut the hell up down there.
Shut up. I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I was doing my
good
time.
serenade going on.
Move all the tables and chairs. Wait a minute, can you relax? Why are you down there getting it like
going
this?
Ain't got no radio or nothing. Ain't got no radio. I'm just in my mind. All
on this radio shit like the movie. That's a good one.
Right.
That's a good one.
Hey, I was in there tripping, dog. I'm like, damn, I'm losing my mind or something. But I was straight though. I was God was protecting me because I was just in there just doing my time. Because I was like, because that's how I say, shout out to my man Dirk and OCJ, because he was like, boy, you're gonna be good in there. I had asked him, I like sat down with him, another guy in there named Jason. He was in there for domestic violence, beating this girl up and shit. It's crazy shit. But he was cool though. And he was like, man, you're gonna be good in there, bro, because you don't talk to nobody, you mind your business. You ain't the type of nigga that be borrowing shit or playing, you know what I'm saying, borrowing money and all that other shit. You study your stuff. So long as you study your stuff, you're gonna be good. Cause I on some real shit that I had told my lawyer, I'm like, look, bro. I'm like, hey, see, can you give me 2 years in OCJ? I do 2 years just so I ain't gonna want to go far away, because I ain't gonna be, you know what I'm saying, away from my family like that. Because Pontiac was the closest way for me to get a visit from them. I'm like, look, bro, if you give me 2 years in here, he like, Mr. Brown, you can't do that much time in Oakland County, because this is only a holder, you know what I'm saying? You only the max you can do here is a year unless you fighting the case. I'm like, oh, so you mean to tell me I can't get no time? I can't choose my time to be on OCJ?
Not at all.
Damn, so all right. So he's like, yeah, you're gonna have to get, go to prison. I'm like, damn, all right, fuck. So in my mind, I'm in there still living life. I don't know what it was, bro. Like, I never sat there and worried. I didn't even, and I did cry. The only time I cried, bro, was when, and I want to say rest in peace to my dog, Ramondo Lewis. He was one of my homeboys up at Baker and Flint. He was a cool cat. He was from Southfield guy. And he ended up getting shot. This is why they shut the Fox down. When they had the club at the Fox downtown, remember we had the what was that the stadium?
I remember that story, man. Did he get killed for glasses or something?
They had he ended up getting shot.
He got killed for his
glasses, for some damn Cardis, bro. And that's when they ended up closing that club down, I think, after that, because they slowly faded out. And that was my only. My mama told me that. I think my sister told me, and I broke down, bro. I swear to God, I broke down and cried. And that was my only time I ever cried in life, because I didn't even cry when my granddaddy passed away. And that was the only man I had in my life. I didn't pass when my auntie, my favorite auntie, passed. I didn't have that emotion. I don't know why, but when that hit me, that hit me hard. I guess because I was locked up, and then that ended up happening. Because I'm like, why, God? Like, what? And I seen it on the news, bro. That's what confirmed it for me. I seen it on the news, and I was like, oh man, I just sat there and broke down again. And my girlfriend at the time, Brittany, she came to see me, and she ended up. Matter of fact, I think she the one told me. She's the one who told me that. Matter of fact, Brittany told me, because she ended up knowing him. I didn't know she knew him. They went to school together. So
yeah, that was at the State Theater. Matter of fact, the State Theater Club.
The State Theater.
We talked about that with Frank. Like, one of the hardest things when you're inside is like when you lose people, because
you can't get to them and
you can't do nothing. You can't console the family. You can't, you can't go to the funeral. You
I swear to God,
helpless.
You can't. And I was in there contemplating, like, bro, I swear to God, when I got this bitch in my mind, Frank Steve still some young shit. I'm like, man, I swear to God, I got here, man. I'm going out there to find out who did that shit, because my mind, like, dog, this was a good nigga. He wasn't no troublesome, you know what I'm saying? No troublesome guy. He was cool as hell. Ladies loved him, you know what I'm saying? He did his thing, and he stayed to himself, you know what I'm saying? Nigga was just out here doing his thing. And of course, I hate that nigga they was doing. you know what I'm saying, stopped his life for that. And that hit me hard. And then I didn't know what to do after that. Like I said, my mind racing. I'm trying to make phone calls like, whoop you woo. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'll do 2 years in here and get out of here and go home and go seek his revenge. My dumb ass. You know what I'm saying? Some stupid shit. But that didn't happen that way. And they never found his killer or nothing. And
it's unfortunate, man.
I was pulling up. I was through after that, and then I'm like, man, they might well just take me to my resting place. Cause I'm like, bro, I'm tired of being in this bitch. Now I'm tired of being in this cell with these niggas. Gotta see them shit in front of me. Gotta use the bathroom. Gotta sheet up. Gotta get in the shower. Man, that shit was too much. So we got the shower and the toilet in the cell with us. So it's like 10 niggas in here sharing this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, just take me to my cell. My dogs in there was like, man, you're gonna be good in there, bro. You're gonna be good. I'm like, all right. So my mind, I'm like, all right. And I took it from that. And I'm like, I did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? They told me I had 51 months.
No, you keep going.
All right. When they told me I had the 51 months to 4.5 years, I'm like, all right, cool, bro. Let me go do my time. You know what I'm saying? Let me go do my time and get up out of here. So they shipped me all, like I said, Jackson, Michigan, quarantine, got processed, all that. Was there for I wasn't even there for a month, Speedy, bro. I wasn't even there for a month. And the officer, again, that's why I don't like COs, I don't like police officers, I don't like anything that deal with the law because they full of crap, bro. They full of crap.
Yeah.
I had a CO tell me, he was like, I'm gonna send you to the Upper Peninsula. No, he said I'm gonna send you to Kinross. No, he said I'm gonna send you to Kinross. I'm like, what is that? He like the Upper Peninsula. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, what is that? The Upper Peninsula. Because I was hearing stories about, oh, you don't want to get shipped up to whoop de whoop and all that.
But for what though? Like, what was he telling you that for?
It wasn't. I don't even know. It wasn't no reason behind it or nothing, bro. I'm like, okay.
These cats just be bullying. They be just, they got that power and authority, and they just want to bully you. They tell you all these things like, "We gonna lock you up. You gonna bet you going down for 20. We gonna send you to the U-Pay for what? Like, for what?
like, because they don't care, bro. And I seen it all unravel within my case this whole time, bro. And like I said, they was all laughing and shit when they said them, like, so they ended up sending my ass to the Upper Peninsula. Nigga, I called. I can't even remember because it was crazy.
Let me ask you real quick, James.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But let me ask you real quick. So one of the things that I noticed, like when we was listening to Frank's story, it was like very few people who like advocated for him outside of like just his family or whatever. So was there anybody that you had who was in this system, like, in the courtroom, COs, police officers, anybody who was a part of the system who kind of tried to look out for you or did something kind for you? Because it seems like nobody cares. Like everybody wants to see you locked up.
I see. Only thing I can say is what the judge. My judge was Nancy Grant. I think that's her name.
Pelosi.
Her first name was Nancy.
I was about to say the same thing.
No, are you stupid? No, it would. I thought I remember. Damn, it wasn't that. Though. I think it was Nancy Grant or something like that. But she sat there when I was in court. When I went for my my sentencing and everything. She was like, Mr. Brown, why are you here? She was like, you went to college. You're doing this, you got a job, you're doing this, you got a good family. Because I had people, matter of fact, I did. Because shout out to them people, to everybody who wrote letters and sent them to the judge. I had a few people send, people who wrote, letters on the outside and sent them to the judge. She's like, you got people that love you. I got the letters and this and the third. And she was like, you seem like a good kid, and I don't know why you was even involved in any of this. But I want you to go do your time and, come out and a changed man and do what you got to do. And then that was the last, honestly, positive words I heard from anybody off the, the law side. Because, she did, because, she was there sentencing a lot of us because it was like a few of us that came to court that day.
Right,
We was in the courtroom and had our family and friends and out there and stuff. And, that was the last thing I was, from the law, that was positive said to me.
That's crazy.
She said that, like, go in there, do your time, and come home and, be, changed person. because I don't even know why you even in this situation, why you even here. And I couldn't really say shit. I was just blown by like, damn, she is right, but it is what it is now, and I'm here. So if you ain't sending me home, it ain't doing me no good with the words. In my mind, I'm thinking at the time because I was done. I didn't care.
Right.
So I'm like, or whatever. But now I think about it, I'm like, well, it was good words. She wasn't like the rest of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
they sent you to the
encouraging words.
Yeah. So they sent you to the island. They sent you to the Upper Peninsula.
But
What was that like?
They sent me to Kinross. Sent me to Kinross, Michigan. Kinross, Michigan, level 2. So that was like a medium security, but they still had the fence and everything around it. Their prison was built like a dormitory. Like you had dorms in there, so we had dorm rooms. And each dorm room fit like 4 people in it. We had 2 bunk beds, 2 bunk beds, 4 people to a room. And it was like dorm style. It was like you was in college on some real shit. Then you walked out the door and you went across to the child hall. It was a big old child hall. You eat at, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then they had like the library, the church, chaplain. They had all that. And in my mind, I'm like level 2. See, I don't know what none of this is. Everything new to me.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
normal person would have been scared. I was just in there like, okay, it's cold as fuck up here. It was cold. It was cold in the summertime.
That's damn near Canada.
It was cold.
Yeah.
Man, I got the scully on with the winter coat in the summertime, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm up there doing my time. I met a couple of cool people up there. I can say, I ain't gonna lie. They looked out for a nigga, you know what I'm saying? I never got into no altercations, never got no fights, none of that. Because all I did, dog, was I played basketball. I was like, man, what a court at?
Yeah.
I played basketball, and then I started lifting weights. I started working out and all that. So I had a few cellmates like, look, you can work out with us, me and our little crew. And I started, being cool with more people because they see me in the weight pit or they see me hooping. Like, hey, bro, you want to work out? I'm like, well, I work out by myself. I didn't know how to work out. Nigga, my first time doing a pull-up, I couldn't even pull myself up. That's just how weak I was. I found out how weak I was.
You were a stick figure at that particular time in life.
Yeah, nigga, I was 6'2", 162 pounds. The doctor when I was at OCJ, the doctor at OCJ was like, you underweight. You supposed to weigh more than this at your height. I'm like, how much supposed to weigh? She's like, you supposed to be at least 180.
Damn, JJ.
I'm 165. Right.
You showed up looking like Tayshaun Prince.
Looking like Darius Miles.
Right. Hey,
oh man.
Right, little as hell. So underweight. I'm like, oh. So I started getting my weight up. And then I started getting my weight up. I started working out, getting my weight up. And eating honey buns and cook-ups when I was at OCJ.
Shout out to the cook-ups.
Shipped out to my main spot, UP. Man, shout out to the cook-ups, man. Shout out to, what I'm saying, being able to do that. Because most people couldn't do that.
Man, they had to eat
the child food.
That's probably the only thing out of jail that was okay. Like, that shit was good as hell. Like, I don't know who made the contraption, but it's a shit. Like, a whole bunch of shit just mixed together, bro. Like, and it's fucking delicious. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah,
that shit
we had nacho dudes, tuna dudes, we had the meat stick dudes, we had all noodle, nigga. If you was getting money, we was cooking up, period. You know what I'm saying?
They have a bag, they cut the bag open up, and you squeeze it out and shit. That shit was crazy, bro.
Yeah, right. So then when we got to the prison, we got the bowls, so we had start getting dishes and shit. So we had dishes and bowls, accumulated, all that. So we was cooking at that. We had microwaves and all that shit. So toasters. So we was creative.
So
time out real quick. Time out. So what time y'all gotta leave? I can edit this out, but what time y'all gotta leave?
I gotta be going probably about another 15 minutes because I gotta go to work.
I mean, we could listen. We can keep it going, and then we could just get another date and re-record.
Yeah, part 2.
We could do a part 2. I just want to make sure because I want to hear the rest of this. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
And I don't want to rush through the story. So
y'all got something to do in the morning because I'm off tomorrow morning.
I'm free.
Yeah, I'm off too. I just gotta help Allie with her homework. So, but yeah, that's it. I'm off.
Yeah, because this is an amazing story right here, bro.
Yeah.
I got a lot of shit, man. A lot of niggas don't know what was going on in there, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all the real of everything, because you can see the transition from back in the day. You know, everybody knows the stories about what was going on back in the day in the prison. But as me going in within that time frame, 2006 to 2010, bro, it was a whole different transition. It was a few things the same, but a lot of things was like flipped. You know what I'm saying? Everything was different a little bit, and it was crazy. It was crazy in there, but when I was in when they shipped me to Kinross, I was doing my thing. Like I said, I was working out every day. Like I was telling Speedy, Greg, we was wearing, nigga, I was wearing my winter gear in the summertime, nigga. It was just that cold up there. Cause they had all that water. I had the Scully on. Niggas had the Scully on with the coat. Nigga with the blue coat we used to have to wear. Like, nigga, we had to wear all that shit. And it was still cold up there in the summertime. Like that wind it hit you like, damn. Like what the fuck is that? So, but it was crazy up there in the UPs. But I held my own.
FYI, like, let me ask a quick question. Other than that, you know, let's say I lived in Michigan up until I was about 23, 24. I've never been to the UP. Greg, you ever been to the UP, though?
The farthest I've been up there was Traverse City.
I've been to Traverse City.
But I don't even know if that's considered. Yeah, that's not even considered UP.
That's not
though,
UP.
so, no.
Considered UPs. It's not. Right.
Yeah, I've never been up there. I want to go to like a camping or something up there. That'd be dope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, cabin or something. But yeah, I heard about the Mackinac Bridge and all that, but I never took that experience across that. You know what I'm saying? So, and as it's messed up, I had to take that experience going to prison and cross it, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, that shit was crazy up there. They used to have the snowmobiles.
Experience comes in a lot of different ways, though. You know what I'm saying? Some good, some bad. But the fact that you experienced it, that's always something that's a blessing and a curse at the same time. You know, right. So you know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this then. So since you up there, you're cold as hell. You're beefing up, pause. You know, trying to get yourself bigger, pause. Right. Give me a wild story that you've seen up there. Something that you would never forget happened that was when you was in the clink.
Okay, when I was in level 2, we had a escape. We had 2 escapes. Some niggas was in a cell. They was in the dormitories across from us. They was in another building. They was closer to the fence, matter of fact. They was close to the fence. These niggas was in their dorm, bro, underneath their bed. Like I told you, we had 2 bunk beds. It was 4 to a cell. These niggas was digging a hole underneath their bed, bro, to escape.
Damn, Shawshank style?
They dug that whole hole. Shawshank at me, like, for real. They Shawshank. They dug a bit. They dug the hole. They ended up escaping. But what they didn't know was, bro, you don't escape nowhere you don't know where you at. If you ain't got nobody to come get you, what do you do now? If you ain't got nobody you ain't got nobody come get you, or you know what I'm saying, you don't know your whereabouts, nigga, you stuck out there like a deer in the headlight. Like, shit, man. What am I doing now?
Listen, this is so important. Listen, first, let's just say this. First and foremost, don't commit crimes. Let's just put that out there. Don't commit crimes. But if you decide to break the law, make sure you know where you at.
Please.
Please know your location.
Location.
That was number 2. Location. Always know your location.
Jesus Christ.
I think it was on the news. I think it was on the news up there or whatever. But I don't know if it was on the news down here. But yeah, this nigga ended up escaping. Everything they locked us down, but it wasn't for long.
They out there lost as hell.
Cold as fuck. Shit, it's cold as hell out here, man.
Hey, they trying to follow the North Star and all that. Is that the Big Dipper? Like, come on, man. Sit your ass down, man.
These clowns,
the compass.
Man. These niggas stupid as hell. But yeah, that was the only thing, honestly, dog. Like I experienced, because level 2 wasn't. I really wasn't supposed to be in level 2. They just sent me up there on some host, you know, some hating stuff. I think because I wasn't even supposed to be in level 2. I only had like 4.5 years. You know what I'm saying? I could have done my whole time at level 1, or a camp, really. But they sent me a level 2, so that's like medium security. You know what I'm saying? And it was a bunch of niggas that were 25 to life and all that. You know, so I met a few guys out there that was cool. You know what I'm saying? They looked out for me. I didn't ask them to, and that was nothing. Cause I'm like, Bro, I never got tested for anything. Like niggas never try to do nothing to me, never try to jump me, fight me, rape. None of that weak ass shit niggas be doing in there. And like I said, God had a shield on me because I didn't endure none of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got into it with my bunkie, and that's crazy though. I got into it with my bunkie one time, and he was from Flint. He was a Flint nigga at that. You already know how I felt about Flint niggas. Yep. I was already skeptical, you know what I'm saying, back from in the day. I'm like, man, this nigga, but I was being cool with him. You know what I'm saying? I was cool with him. Like I said, I did my thing, bro. I had my music in there by now. I had my headphones, my tape, I had the TV and everything.
You singing?
I ain't nobody, bro.
Yeah, still singing my song.
No, I was being respectful. Yeah, I do it when nobody was in the room. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't in there, while they in there singing loud, disrespectful shit. I was staying to myself. And I don't know what his problem was. He got mad at me one day. So I'm like, nigga, look, bro. I don't know what your problem. I end up telling one of my homeboys. I'm like, look, bro. This nigga in my room, but I'm about to blow this nigga shit off if he don't leave me alone. I'm trying to be cool with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be cool. He's like, who is it? I'm like, he a nigga from Flint, old and whoop-de-whoop. Swear to God, bro. I don't know what was said to that nigga, but he didn't say nothing else to me ever. And he ended up moving out that cell. He ended up moving out that cell like I want to say a few weeks to a month later. He ended up moving out that cell. I don't know where he went, but whoever said something to him, he ain't say nothing else to me no more, bro. He ain't had no attitude. He ain't say shit.
Damn.
I'm like,
it was handled.
I'm like,
yeah, because if you,
it was handled.
I've noticed, like, if you good people around, man, like, long as you got like a good energy around you, your aura, man, other people will consider it and make sure that you good. You know what I'm saying?
For real, I think that's what it was, bro. Like, I didn't bother nobody. You know what I'm saying? I talked to who I talked to. You know what I'm saying? I'm an observer. I observe people before I start messing with you, because I ain't about to just hang out with no niggas, especially dealing with what I just went through. You know what I'm saying? I got locked up for some shit with some niggas I thought that was my friends, and I ended up getting caught up in some bullshit. So I'm like, my mind, I'm like, I don't fuck with nobody. I don't trust nobody. No, you know what I'm saying?
Message: choose your friends wisely.
Like, I can't.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. You got to.
For real.
And so, I was, I had, like I said, a few cool cats in there, some young, but mostly was older cats, say that talked to me, and they said it was cool and all that other shit. And I had another situation there, what I'm saying, because y'all my niggas, I'll let y'all know. And I didn't even know I had a situation. That's why I said you always got to be aware of your surroundings. You always got to know who you be around. Because when I was in there, there used to be some niggas, they had share showers with each other, because they had the shower head. It was like 4 shower heads in the shower, and they had in the bathroom. And they had like sinks all around, all this other little shit. And certain niggas, they're going there together, shower out, all that other shit. I'll just wait. Like, I'll wait till somebody come out, the niggas come out, and I go in by myself, do what I got to do, what the fuck on. And I ain't had time for all that extra shit. So there was another guy in there. They called him Flint Bay. I don't know if he was from Flint or not, but they called him Flint Bay because he might have been from Flint.
Another Flinter.
I think his last name was Flint. That's why, because he was a Mobite. That's another thing too. A lot of Mobites and Muslims and them niggas was cool as hell with me, but they never tried to them. They never tried to convert me in any way. They never say, "Hey, bro, you convert with us, we a woo the woo." They ain't never do none of that shit. They just respected the nigga in there off whatever I did, because like I said, I didn't do shit. I was to myself. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I played basketball, worked out. I took classes up. I even went to church here and there. You know what I'm saying? I read the Bible, and I was just like in my own bubble. Yeah. But people looked up, but my man's Griff, I ain't gonna never forget. My shout out to my nigga Griff. He's still locked up. I think he had life. He had life in there, and he
that hurt just hearing it. Like just hearing it just be like,
whenever anybody say that, I'd be like, ugh.
No, I promise you, bro. Half the niggas I was cool in there with was old school cats who had 20 plus years in there or had life. And they was cool with me, and they knew I wasn't in there for that long. You know what I'm saying? They could have did anything to me. Like, this little nigga in here for 4.5 years. You know what I'm saying? They could have did anything to me, bro, but they didn't do shit. They was cool with nigga, looked out for a nigga and everything. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never asked nigga for nothing. Like I said, I had my own food, had my own shit. So I think one day I was sitting there, we was
oh, my bad for cutting you off. You know what happens, like, whenever I hear somebody say life, you know, like on Lion King when it was like Mufasa. Ooh.
It just gave you chills, man. It gave you chills. I mean, because I can't even imagine, man. Can you imagine like having to spend the rest of your days behind them walls, man? Not being able to see your family, not being able to
every day.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
It was crazy, man. My people's came to see me a couple times up there because, you know, it's far for them to come like that. You know what I'm saying? So they came a couple times to see me or whatever. And like I said, I had people looked up. But that story I was telling you about from my man's Griff, it was in the day room one day, you know, saying just chilling, you know, because everybody was in there watching TV or playing cards or some shit. And me and him was just talking. And he was like, look, bro, I got something to tell you. And I got mad at this nigga for saying that to me, but I respected him for telling me that because, you know what I'm saying, who would have known, who would have thought what would have happened, you know what I'm saying? I would have had to break down and defend myself on some shit. And he was like, yeah, I had to cut into, you know, Flint Bay, because that nigga was talking about, you know what I'm saying, trying to do something to you or whatever. I'm like, what? And I'm like, nigga, ain't nobody about to do shit in this bitch to nothing. You know, I'm still young, so, you know, my mind frame, I'm like, nigga, ain't nobody about to do shit in this bitch. I fuck this, you know, I set it off in this, you know, just on some dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and I got mad at him for saying that to me, but I respected him for saying that to me because he looked out for me. He was like, no, so I handled that situation for you. So that nigga ain't gonna say shit else to you or nothing, you know what I'm saying? Or even try to touch you. I'm like, damn, I'm like, wow, because I thought he was cool. I thought Flip Bay was a cool cat. You know what I'm saying? He was all cool and all that other little bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't hang around him like that. I just conversated here and there and kept it moving. But I never thought he was on tip.
So why was he on tip,
shout out to all the folks that looked out, man, for my man Jay while we was inside, man. Definitely shout out, man. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
So why was he like? Did he ain't even tell you why he was on your? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, he never. He just like, look, bro, just watch yourself in there. You know what I'm saying? I got your back, but you know what I'm saying? I had to. You ain't know what was going on. This nigga couldn't find out. He was planning on trying to, you know what I'm saying? I guess try to rape me or some stupid shit, crazy shit.
What?
Like, what?
Oh yeah.
On the shower tip. I'm like, no, the fuck you lying. He would have been that bitch scrapping. Like,
can we give this Flint Bay motherfucker the biggest boo that we have?
Yeah,
right. He's still locked up too.
This man.
Still locked up.
What the fuck? Come on.
He's still locked up. But
one more time.
Jesus fucking Christ. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, so hey, y'all wanna stick a pin in it right there.
Coming up Kenosha and seeing somebody dance from the stop sign 9 Mile all the way to Grand Yard.
Fam, get out of the street. What are you doing?
Right. What are you doing with yourself?
Where the fuck is the traffic? Who's shutting this street down for this traffic not to come through?
For this nigga.
This nigga's in New York City, probably, dog. Somebody is driving down that road, bro.
Oh man.
But my people's.
Well, you don't have to do an intro.
I know. I'm just saying we back for round 2.
Yeah. So we picked up. We was talking about Flint Bay, and you know how my man was trying to get at you.
Flint Bay.
Yeah. And so we could just pick up from right there. You know what I'm saying? You said Flint Bay was trying to get at you in some way, and then you know
my man's Griffex. Yeah, my man's Griffex came and hollered at me about it, and because I didn't want to believe that shit. I'm like, no, ain't nobody trying to test me in this bitch. I don't play that shit. But like I said, I thought about it and was like, damn, you know, like that was real shit because he didn't have to do that.
Right.
He could allow it to go down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But him being real enough, you know what I'm saying? He stuck up, you know what I'm saying, for me, and you know that shit was deaded before he even started.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't hear shit else about that, nothing. Oh boy, ain't even look my way no more. Like.
Oh yeah.
So I was just in there, kept doing my thing. So
listen to me.
At that time transpired.
Is he still in there? Is Flint Bay? Was he serving life or something?
Oh yeah, he had an L, boy. Yeah, he ain't coming home.
Oh
no.
Okay. That probably was some extra stress of why he was probably.
I think he had the L, boy.
Because I heard stories that like people who got like short time left considered to niggas who got life. You know what I'm saying? I heard like they try to pick on you. You got short time, you about to go home.
They be trying to extend that time.
And that's another thing in there too, though. Right. That's another thing too in there about all that rape and stuff and shit. Like, you know how it used to be back in the day, nigga, take your shit. Man, them niggas is in there just giving it up.
Whoa!
I put on everything I love. I'm like, y'all niggas just switch the game in this bitch.
Do you have a
niggas was
yuck
in there
sound effect?
voluntarily.
Do we have a yuck sound effect, please?
Hold on.
Please find a yuck.
All right, let me see what I can find for you.
Can we find a yuck, please?
Here you go. Wait, my bad. Hold on, my bad. That was.
Hey man, hold on, man.
Hey, you don't even know what the other sign I was about to click. You don't even
cut it out, man. Jesus Christ.
Hey, you stupid.
Holy moly. I done broke my headphone fucking around with you. Wow. That is pretty disgusting.
But yeah, that's for real, dog. I've always said that, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, I always observed. I'm like, bro, these niggas in here just giving it to these niggas. And then you would see like the little he-she niggas, the little, you know, the gay niggas come through. And then the toughest niggas on the yard, when you think, oh no, they tough as hell with the woo, these niggas go, you know what I'm saying, soft serving behind these motherfuckers. I'm like, damn, what y'all doing? Because you'll catch it, you'll see a motherfucker, because the yard wasn't that big. So it's like, oh, y'all niggas in here just wild. So niggas is just giving that shit, nigga. It wasn't nobody get that shit. When I got to level 1, niggas is in there just giving it up. Like, here, you can have it. What you need for
level
it?
1?
Can I get this for it?
Isn't that like
level 1, nigga?
The least security joint? Like, that's the stuff, you know?
That's like, well, actually, camp is, because camp don't have no fences around it. But level 1 is the next thing. Like, that means you going home. Like, don't nobody in life got, you know what I'm saying? Nobody with life got is the level 1. They can never go level 1. If you got 10 years left, you can't go level 1. So you got to have like your time going down for you to even see level 1. So when I was in Kinross, I did like a year and a half up there. I did a year and a half in Kinross. And then they came to my dorm room. It was like, pack it up, Brian. You're going to St. Louis. I'm like, St. Louis? I'm like, damn. I'm like, nigga, what I do? I'm like, am I in trouble? That nigga's gonna send me out the state.
Yeah, Murphy Lee in them?
Right, nigga.
At the Midwest
swing. The Midwest swing? Like, what y'all doing?
What?
Wow.
Like, then what I do? My family ain't gonna see me no more or nothing. But they like, no, that's my exact words to the CO. Like, what you mean St. Louis? St. Louis what, Missouri? He was like, no, St. Louis, Michigan. I'm like, what that said? I ain't even had a St. Louis in Michigan.
I've never even heard of that. Where the hell is St. Louis, Michigan?
It's up there by Saginaw. It's like up there by Saginaw. And come to find out, they got the top worst water in the country. Or state, whatever it is. Country, whatever it is they got. But yeah.
Other than Flint?
They got the worst, like, they water turned, like, yeah. They water was killing niggas up there. Like, niggas was bleeding out their shit. Like, niggas was getting sores. Like, you could see, like, you had a cup. Nigga, that shit, the water was turning your cup brown, nigga. Turning everything you had, it was turning shit brown.
Crazy, man.
Niggas losing their hair.
Shout out to them getting rid of who was the governor at that time in life?
Who was the governor at that time?
Was it Steve Engler?
Nah, it wasn't.
No, it was the girl. It was the lady. It was
no, it was a man, wasn't it? It was a man that was the governor
Engler,
at the time.
Then old girl, and then Snyder. Who was the lady though?
This was like 08 through 09.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna Google that.
But yup,
crazy.
So by that time they came to me, my city, they was like, well, you're going to level 1, St. Louis, Michigan. So pack up your stuff and, you know what I'm saying, get ready to go. Pack up all my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Tell my peoples, you know what I'm saying, who I was cool with up in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to ride out, all that other shit. That's what they be talking about, the little lingo. I'm about to ride out. And to my surprise again, you know, wasn't no problems or nothing.
Jennifer Granholm.
Granholm, yeah.
Oh, yup, her ass. Yup, Granholm. Can't forget her.
I got a story about her, but I'll tell you another time. I try to run down her ass.
But
so
no,
not like that, cause it was a
subject. I get to look.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So you get to the loo.
So yeah, I get to level 1, whatever. And another thing in there, right, I get to the loo, and my whole time when I was locked up, I always had a job. It's crazy. I kept a job in that bitch. I kept a job, even though I didn't need it, because I just wanted to stay busy. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do shit. So the whole time locked up, I had a job. They had me working in the weight pit, so I can work out when. Then I went to quartermaster. I say the quartermaster is like Foot Locker. This is where you get all your clothes, all your prison gear, all that shit. White tees, drawers, shoes, coats, and shit. Nigga, maybe I had it, nigga.
This
so
fresh as hell in that bitch.
they finally that was like one of the fresh as hell. Fresh as hell with the all white tee, had crispy white tee every day. So they ended up giving me that job. Niggas was in there doing it. So they gave me that job. That was like one of the best jobs. Everybody, like, niggas wanted in there because you could hustle off that job. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my man. Damn, I forgot his name. He was a Mobile too. He worked. It was 3 brothers that worked in there. It was me and 2 other cats and a white lady. The white lady was the, you know what I'm saying? She ran it, of course. And she had us in there working. The one black guy, I call him Uncle Tom ass nigga, because he always was up her ass. He always did whatever she wanted him to do, all that shit. He was all tall tale ass nigga, just tell everything. So, and the other guy, I forgot his name. He was a Mobile. Right, he was cool as hell. The other guy, he was cool as hell. He was an older guy. He the one who put me on to that game in there. He was like, look, bro, JB. He was like, this how you get, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you how to get shit up out of here without getting seen, and you know what I'm saying? And I want you to be cautious with it, but I'm gonna show you how to take the stuff. And you got like, you know, because I was taking white tees, I was taking shoes, coats, anything I could get my hands on that bitch, I was taking that bitch out of there, nigga. I was raping their ass. I was getting, nigga. It got so good and bad, nigga.
Hey, maybe you want to choose a different choice of
literally
words.
Running the yard.
You want to go with a different choice of words.
Hit him with the zip again. Hit him with the zip again.
Hold on. You.
This nigga stupid.
Where are you finding these fucking sound effects, man? Where are they at, man?
I just got
a ball.
Ready to go.
He got a ball on that.
So I got a question for you.
But yeah, he had.
So I got a question. So okay. So when you got this job, like, was it when you first got in? How much time have you been serving by the time you got these jobs? Like, since you got to, like, you left from.
Well,
you left from Jackson.
Let me see.
You left from Jackson, and then they ship you to the Lou. Was it like in the same year, or?
No, they shipped me to Kinross. No, when I left Jackson, that was on the same year I went to the UP. When I was in Kinross, the Upper Peninsula. So I say from like 06 to 07, mid-07, I was at, you know, level 2. I was in Kinross. So then after like 07-ish, the middle of 07, they headed to 08, they sent me to St. Louis. So I was going to do the rest of the time in St. Louis. So I was like in St. Louis for probably like 2 years, I'd say. 2.5 years, if that.
Yep, how far you say that's from home? Probably about 2 hours, 2-3 hours?
Shit, St. Louis from home, yeah, probably about that. Because Flint was like an hour from the crib. Flint, because when I used to drive to Flint to go to school, that was like an hour and a half. So I say like, cause St. Louis is like by Saginaw. So yeah, about like 2 or 3 hours, you know what I'm saying? At the most.
Did you finish did you finish your bid in St. Louis?
I did and I didn't. When they finally gave me parole, but I'm gonna get to that. When they gave me the parole, I'm gonna get to all that. Mm-hmm. But in the midst of that, as I'm working, when I got to St. Louis, I was working in the weight pit, did that for a few. Then they ended up giving me a promotion. Like, nigga, you promoted, we're gonna give you the quartermaster job.
Oh shit.
My homeboy Cube, right? My homeboy Cube, well, you know, G, that nigga was in the kitchen, so he had, nigga, we stayed eating every night, nigga. Cause we had our own food. Plus, he'd take food out the kitchen. So yeah, shout out to that Q, nigga. He was like, hey, he's like, JB, bro, you gotta cook this up. Nigga, I was the cook up nigga in there. I cooked up every night, nigga. I ate good every night. I ain't gonna fuck what it was. I'm eating beef. I stay eating. It was in there, Chef Curry. That nigga.
Chef Curry
was in that bitch. Was in that bitch, Chef Curry.
Way to turn lemons into lemonade, man. My man was in there fresh. He was eating good,
making every minute count while he was in there, ladies and gentlemen. Quality minutes in that
like
bitch.
A
you feel
motherfucker.
That's what I'm talking about.
Taking classes up. I had real estate class. I had anger management class. I had all types of classes.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
I ain't give a fuck.
That's what's up, bro.
But you bring up a good point. Like, it's not about your current circumstance, man. This is about whether or not you're making your minutes count, man. Because like there you go. You was in there. You was incarcerated. You say you was taking real estate classes and anger management classes. You was working. You was getting promotions. You was eating good. You was building a network. Like he was singing songs. Like, come on, baby.
Every minute count.
And that bitch is walking around.
My man,
my
man did the best beat ever.
Hey, you remember that Choco? Call me Choco. How they be in that bitch?
Whoo.
Nigga putting all the minutes on display. That's what I'm talking about.
But for real, man, like you got to, man, because if you don't do your bid, your bid gonna do you. Period. Like,
that's right.
I've heard
you're gonna be in there depressed, sad. You're gonna be on some grimy shit. You're gonna be on some petty shit. You're gonna be on dumb shit in there. If you ain't got your mindset, your mind right in there, you're gonna be on some dumb shit. And then you go to the street again, you're gonna really be on some dumb shit. That's how most of these niggas be going back. They're leaving,
dropping
go home,
dimes
come
right
back.
now.
I seen that too.
You dropping gems right now.
I didn't see that too.
Mm.
I done had a homeboy come back twice, nigga. He came back twice, and I was in there. I'm like, damn, nigga, you just went home. She like, man, my bitch, dude, my bitch. I'm like, man, y'all niggas, you letting the hoes get you locked up? Like, come on, bro. Like, nigga, just came home. You just went home. Now you back here again with me, nigga.
Hashtag.
Again with me.
Not the hoes.
Oh, no.
Not the hoes, baby. Stay away from the hoes. Well, no, don't stay away from the hoes.
Man, got him killed.
No.
But stay away from the drama.
Stay away from the drama. There you go. Stay away from the drama.
There it is.
The drama from the hoes. So I'm in there. So as I'm working at all. So as I'm working in the quartermaster, I'm my man's he showed me the way how to get take shit up out that bitch. So I got my button up on. My little outfit they used to have was wearing in there, a little jail outfit, it was a button up. And I used to have my t-shirt, I used to have the white tee on underneath the shirt. So I tucked my white tee in my pants. So as I'm taking shit out the quartermaster, I'm tucking all that shit in my, like how you would do the remember on Friday at the next one, that nigga Damon had
the baby over there.
The motherfucker, he had the motherfucking the telephone book strapped on.
Yeah.
That's how I was.
Put the armor on. The armor.
Everything. Yeah. I had to put the armor on. So I'm stuffing all this shit in my clothes, bro. I have t-shirts, drawers, pants, shoes. Like I'm taking everything. I'm stuffing. He like, just don't get caught, bro. And I'm like, all right, I got it. Nigga, he showed me the way. Nigga, I ran with that shit. Nigga, I had a good run for like at least 3 months, nigga.
You were selling this stuff, or you were just having it for yourself?
Yes, I was selling it. I was keeping it for myself, and I was selling. Nigga, I had so much inventory. Niggas was making me list. They give me their list like, hey, bro, here come my list. Grab this from me. And then I get them a list of what I want, the commissary. They get it to me, whether it was cosmetics, soaps, and all that shit, or food. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I wanted. I give you a list of what I want. Give you a list of what you want.
So, listeners, I want you to understand, like, commissary is the world inside prison and jails. Like if somebody puts money on your books, like you are an instant thousandaire in that bitch. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm God honest, you got a show full of fucking honey buns or like you say clothing or anything like that, bro. You are the man in your pod. They will look at you a certain different way. You can have people doing things for you. So he was just building equity is what he was doing.
That commissary was
like
commerce.
I had
yes.
Currency.
Nigga, locker was on bang, nigga. Locker was on bang, everything, nigga. So I was good. So I'm doing that, nigga, 3 months strong. Not even, you know what I'm saying, just running the yard. Nigga just like, oh, what's up, you JB? I'm like, yeah, nigga, who was you? You know what I'm saying? I had to watch out for niggas. I ain't know who was who, and niggas that let me still snitching on you. I'm like, no, I'm like, so I had a good little run, nigga, and that's how every person who gets home, if you own good enough, I always say this, you own good enough, stop while you're ahead. Don't continue, don't be greedy with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You get greedy with it, you always come down. It never fails. Something always bad gonna happen to you. Either you're gonna get killed or you're gonna get locked up or some shit gonna happen, whatever.
You gotta know when to hold them and know
don't
when to
get
fold them,
greedy.
right?
Oh, when
Right,
to
all
fold
day,
'em.
for real.
What was that song? Oh, that was a good
So
song.
this nigga stupid. So one day, and this is around the time I'm about to get my parole. This is around the time I had took when I had got my recommendations for when I got sentenced, they told me I had to take a assault of offenders class. Anybody who had a violent crime, they had to take that class, which is called AOP, Assault of Offenders Program. You gotta take that class in order for you to get home, period.
Mm.
They don't care what you did in that bitch. They don't give a fuck if you got a GED in there, you did 1,000 classes, you was the man. If you don't have that program, by the time it's time for you to go see that parole board, they gonna flop your ass and send your ass back until you take that course. So it took me like I couldn't even take that course until like my 3rd year into my sentence. You know what I'm saying? So when it was time for me to do that, you know, I already know I'm putting in the kite and everything. Like, yeah, I'm trying to get in this class. Whoop de whoop, whoop de whoop. They come back to me like, oh, you ain't gotta take the class no more. I'm like, what? I'm like, I ain't gotta take the class no more. Man, you don't know how happy that made me. I'm like, oh, I'm going home then now. I ain't gonna take this class. I'm off this bitch. So after they sent me that, they gave me that information. I got back to the yard. Was still running that bitch, flipping shit, doing everything with the man. And then one day, which is my fault, I forgot my hat. I forgot my skull cap. Got greedy. I had shit with me too. I was strapped too. And the other 2 guys left, and old girl was like, it was just me and old girl in there. And she's about to lock up because it was about to be count time. They took counting there. Like every every 2 hours or so or whatever like that, they'll take count. You have to be in your on your cell, in your room, on your bunk while they come around and count your head because they got to make a head count, make sure everybody there. Mm-hmm. That's how they know if a nigga missing. Like, oh, this nigga missing. Where he at? They do count. So we about to go. We done for that morning. So my dumb ass, I'm loaded. I'm strapped up and everything. So I forget my skull cap. Then I'm like, damn, I gotta go back and get my cap. So I turns back around to go in the building. She's like, what you do? She's like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm coming back to get my hat. So she looking at me already suspicious because she suspicious. You know how white people be, bro. They don't be. They be looking at the nigga.
Jesus Christ.
You know how white people be. You know how they be. They already. She already on tip. Hey, it is what it is. But she's like, what you doing? I'm grabbing my hat. So she all trying to like, well, what, you got anything else on you? I'm like, no, what you talking about? So ain't nobody else outside on the yard. The yard is clear as hell. I'm the only nigga on the yard because it's about to be count time and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta walk all the way back to my dorm. You know what I'm saying? Across the yard. So I'm trying to fuck up out of there. So as I know, she knew something was up. So I goes to the other building and try to get my homeboy out that bitch. My homeboy Tayshawn. I'm like, man, I'm like, go get my mans out of there because I gotta get him this shit. But then it was too late. So I'm like, fuck. Because he, you know what I'm saying, it was, you know, could nobody else come outside. So I'm like, fuck, all right, let me get to my dorm and shit. Then I'm going back to my building. Tell me why the CEO outside waiting on me.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
He like
game over.
He like now this is I went to see the parole board before this even happened. Matter of fact, 2 days before this happened, I went to go see the parole board. Parole went beautiful. Old girl, she was a black lady. Shout out to her. I forgot her name. But my mom had came up there, you know what I'm saying? She sat there with me at the parole board and the counselor and the parole, the parole lady, whatever. And she was the same way. She was nice as hell, black lady. Shout out to her. I forgot because I don't know her name. She was like, I hope you retire this number. I don't want to see you back in here no more.
Mhm.
You don't need to be in here. This ain't you. Just what I'm saying, just giving all types of words of encouragement, which was surprising to me, knowing that, what I'm saying, we see what the parole board be on movies, how they be holding things, what I'm saying? No, you gotta go back. And she granted me my parole, and I was happy as hell. And that's when that shit happened. 2 days later, nigga got indicted.
Got indicted. Whoa.
Oh, wait.
We got you.
Wait, hold on, man.
What?
Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. What happened? You got granted parole, and then what?
Then I got indicted.
They got indicted. They hit me with the nigga. They like, oh boy was like, let me check you. I'm like, what you mean check me? I ain't got nothing. Hey, this is exactly what I did, bro. This is exactly what I did. I said, bro, I don't have nothing on me. Soon as this nigga turned his head, tell me why I take off in the building. I run down the hall to my room. Swear to God, true story. I run down to my room and trying to get everything out my locker, bro. I was trying to get, because back then they put numbers on your shit. Like you had a number. My number was, I ain't gonna never forget this number. It was 620345. I ain't gonna never forget that number. That was my number. So they put that on all the back of your clothes. If you didn't have that on the back of your clothes, that shit was illegal. So that's why I was selling everything on the yard. So if you didn't have a number on that shit, they're like, why you got a number on your clothes? Your t-shirts had a number on it, your socks, your drawers, your coat, your shoes, everything had your number on it. And if it didn't have your number on it, you wasn't supposed to have it.
State property.
Nigga, my whole locker, everything was filled with shit.
Contraband.
So nigga, I ran in there trying to, right, contraband. So I got it's 8 of us in our room. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, yes, 8 of us in our cell, and we had open cells, so you can see what's in my cell because it's open. It's all they had up was little walls dividing everybody. It was walls, so I could just walk up in your shit and take whatever I want out your shit. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't even know. So I ran to my cell. My room, my cellmates was like, "What's wrong, JB?" I'm like, "Bro, I gotta get all this shit up out of here." Oh boy, coming down here now. I done ran off on his ass. I ran off on the plug. I ran off on this nigga down the hallway, and he tried to check me and everything. So he comes down there. He comes down to my room like, he was like, "Why did you run, bro?" I'm like, "Cause I thought you was done with me. I thought you was done talking to me." He was like, "How can I be done talking to you?" So you took off running. He was like, "How can I be?" All
right, Forrest. I just felt like
running. That nigga with the Forrest Gump. Like running. Look, got the fuck on that nigga. So he like, all right, we about to shake you down. So for everybody out there who don't know what a shakedown is when the COs run up in your cell and start checking all your shit, throwing your shit around, trying to go through something, trying to find contraband. So of course they shake my cell down. Had they ain't have all of them get out. They just check my shit. They checking my shit. They took a few clothes. They didn't have no number. They took t-shirts or whatever. That was it. And so he wrote me 2 tickets. I got a DDO, which is a disobeying a direct order, and I got a theft ticket. And I'm like, oh, bro, they about to take my parole, bro.
Not after your
I'm like,
hearing Jesus Christ.
My mama about to kill my ass.
Bad timing. Jesus Christ.
Bad timing.
Shut the whole, infiltrate the whole,
what the fuck?
And they infiltrate the whole everything process, nigga. Everything was, I'm like, damn, nigga, I got fired, of course. They wrote me 2 tickets. And I'm sitting there like, dog, I'm in there worrying every day. Now I worried more within that last 2 months than I did my whole 3.5 years I was in there.
So what those 2 tickets do to your time?
Oh, my mama go. They didn't do nothing to my time because when I had got granted parole, they was gonna ship me out for reentry. Reentry is it's a program you go to to get you back, set your mindset back for the streets, for the world. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to set you up for the streets, to get back into the world with jobs and school, you know, housing, all that little bullshit. That's what that program was for. And that was in Macomb. I had to go to Macomb for that. So I'm waiting, bro. I swear I was in there like, oh my God, they niggas took my parole, bro. I'm about to be in here with y'all niggas some more. I can't do this. I'm like, bro,
I'm running out of songs to sing.
I'm ready to go.
My playlist is getting
right, nigga. Oh no, I could never do that. No, hey, I had the TV, I had an MP3 player, and I had a cassette player in there. Nigga, music was unlimited.
Shout out to
I was
cassette players. Jesus Christ. Not the Walkman.
Nigga, I had a cassette player in that bitch. A Walkman in that bitch. That was my lifeline. Until they started putting they gave us MP3 players. So we got an MP3 player, we could download the music and shit on that onto our MP3 player off the little machine they had in there. And we had color TVs. So I was good. Shit, you know, I had everything I needed. Shit. And I was eating.
On that point right there. So they sent you to
with the exception of your freedom. You had everything you needed except
fresh air.
Except except your freedom, but
fresh air.
So like that program that gets you guys technically tries to get you mentally prepared to go back into society. I think Frank probably talked about something like that as well. But he said it was a program where they didn't do it till after he got out. Like, like how you gonna get rehabilitated on the outside already? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he said he got released, and then they put him in a program through his felony probation to try to get him back into society. But he like, why the hell would they do that after the fact before I get out? That's crazy.
It was like something he had to do to help to determine whether or not he was fit to be on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but he had already been on the outside.
Yeah, because if you got in that program. Oh, he was already on the okay. Yeah, I went on the outside. I was still locked up technically, but this is my last step to, you know what I'm saying, getting about that bitch. So they finally came and got me. I was like, thank God. They finally came and got me for the program. Got to the program. I was there for like a couple months, maybe no more than 3 months. And they finally let me go home. Cause I was even in there worried, like, bro, they niggas ain't gonna let me go home. I'm supposed to go home. When they gonna let me go home? Like, I'm tired of being in this shit. No, bro. I'm at the end of the road. I don't even be in this bitch no more. I'm just over it. Like, and but I'm gonna go back to when I was in St. Louis. When I was in my cell, I witnessed one of my bunkies, one of my roommates, get assaulted. That shit was the craziest thing. My whole time locked up in that bitch. Like, this nigga
beat
came
the fuck
in,
up or
got into a fight.
Assaulted. Oh, okay.
He almost no, it was a fight. It was a fight. Okay. This when I went back to say, if don't be in there gambling if you don't know what you're doing. Don't be in there doing none of that shit. Just stay to yourself. Nigga was in there gambling, playing dominoes. Mm-hmm. He was playing dominoes with one of the young cats. Matter of fact, a young cat from Flint. A little young nigga from Flint. Wild nigga. It was a couple of them kept coming in there. It was a couple wild niggas that was coming in there. Mm-hmm. And the guy that was in my cell, he was from Saginaw. And he was an old weird nigga. You know, he was a weird nigga. And I guess he got into the young cat in the car room over the game or whatever. Now this later on, this early on in the day. So later on that night, nigga, true story, nigga, I'm on my bunk. I'm on the top bunk because my bunk faced the hallway. Because, you know, like I said, I told you our whole cell was open. It was wide open. The only thing that was dividing us was walls and shit. Mm-hmm. So, and my bunkie was a Mexican guy. He was from Southwest Detroit. Okay. He was in there doing blow and shit. He was high ass. So he was high that night. He was fucked up high on his bed. He was sleeping shit. So I'm on my top bunk. True story. Nigga, I had the headphones on, listening to Neil Jones' first album. That was my first time hearing that album because he was already released on the street. Shout out to John L. Jones, nigga. That was the coldest album ever, nigga. I'm like, damn, this nigga John L. Jones album cold as hell. This shit sweet as hell. I mean, that bitch in there thinking about all the girls I had because I had pictures of everybody I had on my wall or whatever. Somebody looking like, damn, well, I won. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that bitch just vibing on the top bunk, nigga. It's nighttime too and everything.
That should have left my baby girl a message.
I can just see the nigga like these on the bunk, just looking at the pictures, just.
That's exactly how it was. Like, hey, everybody in that bitch sleep, dog. I'm in there like, man, fuck them.
Say what? Yeah.
Well, you know
So my bunk is all the way. My cell all the way to the back of the building, and the young cat, his cell was at the front of the building. So this nigga came from all the way from the front of his cell all the way to the back of ours, nigga. And I remind you, it's nighttime. You can't watch no more TV. They cut your TVs off and everything. 12 o'clock hit, they shutting everything off.
Lights out.
It's dark, lights out, nigga, literally. So, and again, I told you, our cell wide open. So you can just walk in that bitch, you know what I'm saying, if you want to. And my man's came in that bitch with the sock. He had the lock in the sock, bro.
Lock in the sock action. They call that bitch a blanket party, baby.
Man.
Hold you down, and they'll just get the whooping on your
ass. So old boy who he about to fight is across from me on the bottom bunk. He on the bottom bunk. And he was half asleep, I guess. All I see is my man's come down, because I can see everything. All I see is my man's come down the hall. Because he said earlier, he was like, I'm going to fuck that nigga up, JB. I'm like, bro, don't do that. I'm like, look, man, just chill, bro. But yeah, you can't tell a young nigga what to do, because you know how young niggas be. They going to do what they going to do anyway. Man, I see this nigga come down the hall, bro. I'm like, oh, shit's going down. I'm the only nigga up right now. So
you had to turn Donnell up a little bit, like, let me turn this up.
No, I turned Donnell off because I wanted to see this shit. I had to turn Donnell off for a little bit. So he come in that bitch just straight. I guess old boy must have caught it. He seen the end of it, but he hit him. But he, you know what I'm saying? But he seen him a little bit. So he didn't connect all the way with it. Man, he came in there and swung that bitch hard as hell, man. He connected somewhere. I don't know where he hit him at, but he hit him. Nigga, he got up. Nigga, they ain't that bitch rumbling. Nigga, they knocking all the lockers over. You know it's dark. It's nighttime, so you gonna hear all this commotion. Nigga, knocking all the lockers. I'm like, oh shit, y'all got the lockers on. They gonna come down here and whoop you whoop. So nigga, everybody up there, nigga. There's blood all on the window. My man's bunk and everything, nigga. So the young cat, he go back down to his cell. Nigga, they came in there that morning. Nigga got old boy up out that bitch. They done broke the window. They broke the window too, because the old boy, I guess when he swung the lock, it hit the window too. So he kind of like shattered that bitch a little bit. And it was blood and shit on the thing. I'm like, oh, these niggas in here wilding. Now this level 1. I'm like, these niggas in here wilding, bro.
Man,
and
making it hot.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's hot.
Making it hot as hell. And there was a lot of shit that went on in level 1.
I witnessed the blanket party, dog, but I was in Oakland County. I was working in the they made me a kitchen trustee. So we had our own we had our own little dorm, because I was in I think I might have been my second or third year I was in Oakland County for my little 3 months or whatever. So in the kitchen door, it's small, it's probably like maybe 25 people in this motherfucking pie, bro. And it's an Irish guy. He has a no, I don't even say Irish. He had Irish in his family. He's a redhead guy with a swastika on his tattoo on his leg, on his calf. So everybody in there seeing that shit like, this nigga got us fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So one night, I don't know what he did, bro. Because I was on the top bunk too, me and this old school nigga who just swore he was YBI, one of them old ass YBI cats. I can't think his name, I just called him school. So lights out came. As my man went to sleep on his top bunk, 3 other inmates came from down the little pond, came over there. One had a sheet. The other one had the, you know what I'm saying, the lock in the sock. One of them went on this side of the bed. Right. The other one went on this side of the bed. And they threw the blanket up and just held it down so you can't move. Man, they got to work it out on his ass, bro. I was just in a shock bowl, like. So then the CEO came in there. What's going on? What's going on? Everybody act like they was asleep and there's blood all on.
My man coughing up his insides.
Right.
Jesus.
Right.
Dog, it was crazy.
I was asleep. I'm just I just got my ass whooped up to sleep.
Hey, that should be real life, and that was just in the county, so I could just imagine in prison, like shit. That's crazy, bro.
Oh yeah, I got a story from County 2. Not to get off topic, but I got a story from County 2. White boy was in our cell, bro. In our cell, and they're lying and shit, right? Another thing, people, when you locked up, man, don't be in there lying about
Please
what you
stop the lies.
what you done did. Don't be making fabricating. Don't do that, man. Because they're gonna find out.
Yeah,
they're gonna find out why
you
you in
for
there
sure.
for real.
Yeah. Also, don't lie on the outside either. Inside, outside.
And
just stop lying.
The lie. Stop the goddamn lies.
No, don't lie, period. Just stop lying. Just stop the lying.
Yeah.
Stop the lying.
For real. And his lie called up to him. He was in there talking shit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm here, I'm doing this. You know, just being a little tough guy. He's a little weak ass white boy from Milford. Milford, right? I don't even know what the fuck Milford was.
Milford?
So one night, everything I love, Milford. Swear to God, bro. I don't know how they got this newspaper, dog. But they got the newspaper, and this motherfucker was in it, bro. And they had his case in that bitch and everything. Swear to God, true story. Got the nursepaper. And I say it was four cell blocks in our whole cell thing. Nigga, they got that bitch in there like they yelled over to our cell like, hey, ain't this the white boy that's in y'all cell? Whoop de whoop, he in there for touching a little kid and whoop whoop whoop, just going in like,
oh no.
Nigga, they give us the paper and everything. He in there like, I don't know, they lying, man. I ain't do that. Woo, woo. Man, I swear to God, this nigga, dog.
Now they lying.
Got his ass.
Now the paper's lying.
Right.
Reporters are lying on you.
He got his ass whooped that night, bro. I swear to God, true story. That day he got his ass whooped that night, nigga. I swear to God, next morning he was gone. He kited out that bitch. I need to get up out of here, CEO. Yeah. My life is on the line. Yeah. My life is on the line. He got out that bitch quick, with the quickness. Just off a turn of events of somebody getting that paper with him so happened to be in that bitch.
Hey, pedophiles.
So happy to be in that bitch.
Fuck you.
People don't be there. Right
there. You sick sons of bitches. You sick fucks.
So that was a lot of motherfuckers got exposed like that, and then was in there lying about this or doing that, and niggas was getting, because all you had to do was take my number, right, and go on Otis and look that shit up.
Yep, and tell.
Because if you didn't have my whole name, if you didn't know my whole name or whatever, all you gotta use is use my prison number. You can go on Otis, look me up, see what my crime was, see what I did.
So
it was just that simple. So
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll wait.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to those prison numbers in the Otis, but I did want to tell you one more wild story from just county jail. So I was in jail. Now Oakland County Jail is always overpopulated. They had people in the gyms. They had people in the hallways laying down with their little bunks. I mean, little cots and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And at this particular time,
they weren't supposed to though. They weren't supposed to. Have
right? It's illegal as hell. Exactly. Exactly. So as I'm in there, that's when before they stopped selling cigarettes inside the facilities. You know what I'm saying? Because a few years back they stopped selling tobacco or whatever the case may be. So I was privileged enough to have shit on my commissary, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my people who was putting money on my books. So I used to have to stock up on squares, bro. When I tell you this, it's hard to believe, man. Like the certain shit that happened in there, people would not believe. I had a person sell me their soul, bro.
I bet you told me that.
For 2 motherfucking menthol cigarettes. It was a short guy. He was little as hell, little dude. Probably I called him Littlefoots. Shout out to Littlefoots. I ended up seeing him on the outside probably about 2 or 3 years ago, dog. He's doing a lot better, but he was like an addict and whatever the case may be. He was fucked up while he was in jail. But needless to say, the same dude, swastika though, because they moved him with us over there too. This little nigga, Littlefoots was a gangster. He was like, yo, man, hey, man. He had a little squeaky voice. Hey, man. Can I get a square from you? I'm like, look, bro, this is the second, third time I done fronted you, dude. You got to give me something, dog. Sell me your soul then, nigga. So I wrote a contract, bro. My soul belongs to GW on the paper. That's what I wrote. This little nigga plucked his finger. He found a safety pin and put the blood on the paper. So was mine like Shane Stone, nigga. You hear me? I gave him his soul back before I got released.
I was gonna ask, do you still possess his soul? Do you still have that?
I gave his soul back, man.
Oh,
he even hit a lick for me, dog. It was one nigga. It was another little Caucasian guy who was in there talking greasy, man. It was lights off. As I had his soul, I'm like, hey, Littlefoot.
That's how I had his soul.
Lights off. I want you to run up and slap the shit out of him. I didn't think he was really gonna do it. But needless to say, 10 o'clock come, lights off. It's quiet.
Well, you did have a contract, so I mean.
Yeah. I mean, because if he didn't, we was fucking him up. Because I had my own little crew too. We was gonna fuck him up. And lights out came. I say about 10:30, 10:45 in the evening. All you heard was the little nigga run back. He get they sent him out the little pile of shit. He got in trouble and everything. So I had to give him his soul back, man. He was cool, man. Shout out to Littlefoot, man. I'm glad you're doing a lot better out there.
Yeah, shout out to Littlefoot, man.
Shout out to Littlefoot. But I sold, ladies and gentlemen, I owned a person's soul at one time in life.
Over 2 cigarettes.
Off of 2 squares, bro.
It got serious like that because I used to see a lot of niggas take the cigarette butts, nigga. You know, you have to pre-roll them or whatever. A lot of niggas used to take them out the ashtray, my nigga. I see a lot of that. And re-rock them bitches. I'm like, ugh.
Yuck.
They take them out the ground, out the cigarette, out the ashtray. I'm like, y'all some nasty ass. Is that serious, this bitch? Damn.
There's a lot of disease going on in those facilities too, man.
Sick.
Like, what's that? That skin eating disease. I forgot the name of. MRSA.
Ebola. Oh.
MRSA and something else was going on.
MRSA.
Jails too.
That was heavy.
Yeah, that shit fucks you up, man.
That was heavy in there.
Pretty disgusting.
I think that we had that in Saginaw, matter of fact.
Pretty disgusting environments.
Yeah, we had that in Saginaw, yup.
So I wanna go to
your because of that water.
Yep. I want to go back to your transition from you getting out, you're dodging a bullet from your indictment. You're on parole now. I mean, not on parole, but they granted you parole. So once you got your tickets, like, did they just like, you know what, just get the fuck out of here, or did you still have to grant something from those tickets before you got out of the jail?
Yeah, no, I didn't, honestly, I didn't even have to do nothing, because when you got in trouble in there, like, they wrote you tickets and shit, the discipline was they give you LOP. It was called LOP, loss of privileges. Meaning you couldn't go outside, you couldn't do shit, you couldn't do nothing, nigga, but be on your bunk, nigga. You couldn't go to the car room, you couldn't watch TV, you couldn't listen to them, you couldn't do shit but sit in your room, but they wouldn't let you do shit. So I was in there till it was time for me to get shipped to Macomb. So when I went to Macomb, I was there for a few months. I was straight. I was in there with my nigga Chris Brown. I used to call his nigga my man's Los. Shout out to, I don't know what that nigga had though, but I ran to him a few times on the street. We hooped when we was in St. Louis together, because when we left St. Louis together and went to the reentry program together, whatever. But we was in there hooping. We was on the same basketball team in there and shit. And he was in there with me. I called him Chris Brown because nigga looked just like Chris Brown and everything. But was a tall ass, I don't know, that nigga was like 6'7", 6'8", tall ass nigga. Like, he could be mistaken for a basketball player, nigga, any day. He used to lie too to the hoes, like, yeah, I'm a basketball player. Like, look, JB, we go, I see him on the street. He like, look, JB, we see some hoes, and they talking to us, just tell them, I'm in the NBA, I play overseas. I'm like, shit, I'm like, they gonna believe you, because nigga, you tall as hell. They like a hooping ass nigga. And then you look like Chris Brown, so they ain't gonna be like, you lying, nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hell yeah, they about to win. But anyway, he was in there with me.
Stereotypes.
Right. He was in there with me. So, you know, we was cool. I was cool in that bitch, did my little time in there. You know, I still was working out, still was hooping, did a little bullshit, stayed to myself. Then they let me go home November 10th, I want to say. No, honestly, it was like the end of November when I came home. It was the end of November 2010 when I came home. And that's when I got released from Macomb's correctional facility or whatever. in Macomb, Michigan. And my mom came all the way up there to get. I don't even know how far that drive was. Shit, because nigga, might fuck around with Macomb.
We still got footage of release date. We still got footage on YouTube, man. I remember that. I was shooting a yak show at on our neighbor house.
Oh yeah. And so yeah, I came home from that, got home, you know, and back to that when I first came home, I tried to contact the alleged baby mother of the, you know what I'm saying, the first child, right? Now, I got in contact with her on Facebook, and she all going in like, well, because when I was locked up, she had started back writing me, I say my last year of me being locked up. She started sending pictures of her, I don't know why, of her, then the baby, you know, of my supposed daughter, as she's growing up. I'm like, damn, she done got big, you know what I'm saying? And
wait a minute, did you say alleged?
She had me writing. Yeah, I always say that, bro, because I don't even know, you know, if she's mine or not. Because I mean, even though I named her and stuff, never denied her, she never.
You never got
the whole
no
time
DNA
I was
test.
locked up, bro. My family did not see that little girl. That's why I would say alleged. Never got a DNA test, and she never brought my daughter around none of the my family while I was locked up. My family did not see that little girl the whole time I was locked up.
Yeah.
Period. At all. No communication, nothing, because they didn't want to. So that's why I always say alleged, because I'm like, well, you kept her away from my family the whole time I was gone. So when I got home, I contacted her on Facebook or whatever, and she all like, well, you got to get a blood test, because she had a little boyfriend at the time and shit. So she's like, you got to get a blood test. I'm like, get a blood test for what? I'm like, but you still on this damn child support shit? I'm like, how you gonna put me on child support, bitch, and I ain't got no job? I'm like, hey, how you gonna get child support out of me if I ain't got no job? So
make it enough.
I'm not about to get no blood test. Right, for real. They pretty much. So she all like, well, if you ain't gonna get no blood test, we about to move out the state. I'm like, well, bye. Shit, bye. See you later. Shit, because what you want me to do? I'm like, I'm trying to see the little girl.
Right.
Trying to see what's
4
up.
years. You ain't been fucking around.
Right. And you still on the same tip. You still on the same tip. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what, go about your business. So then this is what I do next. I call Maury. Maury Popovich. What's the name?
Maury Povich.
Maury Povich.
I calls the Maury show. True story. True story, bro. After she denied me of that SS, I'm like, you know what? I'm about to call Maury. And I always wanted to go on Maury. Shout out to Maury too. That's the best show ever on TV, bro. That's my nigga Maury. I always wanted to go on Maury. You are not the father. But yeah, I called Maury show. I called the Maury show. I talked to the producer. The lady was like, I gave her my story, everything that happened, everything that I went through with this girl. She's like, okay, I love your story. We can pick it up. We can do woo. But she's like, I need you to do me one thing. I'm like, what? She's like, I need you to contact the child's mom and see can she come on the show too. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, damn, bitch. I'm like, all right, I'll try and see what I can do for you, but I can't make no promises. So this is what I do. I gave the number that she gave me. I gave it to my sister. I'm like, look, I'm like, Amanda, call this number, call this girl and see, can you get her to come on the Maury show? She's like, the Maury show? I'm like, yeah. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I called Maury and I'm trying to go on the show, you know, so I'm trying to see, you know, is Amir your mind or not? She's laughing at me,
for that
of course.
too.
But
they pay for that too.
Yeah, they pay. And they fly you out. All that. Accommodations, everything. You good. So she calls the number and her little boyfriend picks up the phone. So this nigga, now I don't know what he's saying to her. She come back and tell me what everything the nigga said. He basically snapping on my sister like, man, fuck that hoe ass nigga. I'm the daddy now. He should have been out here taking care of his responsibility and whoop you. Just going hand like, matter of fact, if y'all niggas want to do something, you can pull up on me on Mac. He was I guess he was off of Mac at the time.
You ain't had to do all
y'all
that.
can pull up on me over there. Whoop.
Come on, Rodney from Baby Boy.
All right.
Fuck on.
Right.
Talking real tough on the
he
phone,
like,
nephew.
pull up on me. Woo. Just talking shit to my sister. Real tough. So So my sister like, all right, nigga, this is what we gonna do then. I'm gonna call the police and then we gonna pull up. He like, well, hold on, no. That's between you, that's between Rachel and old boy. I ain't got nothing to do with that. He copied pleas and all type of shit. None.
Oh, now he don't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, now he ain't
He
got
got nothing to do with nothing.
That
It
tough
ain't my
guy.
problem. Woo.
The tough guy
Out
rolling
the
straight
fucking
out the
window.
window, huh? Yep.
Out the fucking window. Cause you talking grease to my sister for what, nigga? Like, nigga, I could pull up on you, but for what? First of all, that ain't my part in town. So I'll be a fool for me to leave where I'm at to go all the way to the east side to deal with a nigga. I don't even know who he looked like, what he looked like or nothing.
Right. Audience.
And set myself up for failure? Come on now, bro.
This one thing I do want y'all to realize. If it is a conflict or anything like that, please do not pull up to nobody else's home, because if you pull up to my house with this with the bullshit, it could be some unfortunate situations going on.
It's a reason they call it home court advantage.
Exactly.
Don't pull up to nobody's house. Don't do it.
Don't do that.
So James,
go ahead.
So
James, so talk to me. Like, what was I'll let you finish your story, because what I was going to ask you is like, what was the hardest part about making that transition from the inside, spending 4 years in, and then coming back to the outside? But I know you was in the middle of the story, so I'll let you finish that.
No, you good. To answer your question on that, also for real shit, about it really wasn't hard at all, dog. And I'm not even sitting here being funny or none of that shit. Because when I came home, bro, I felt like everything was the same. When I left, my mind frame was in the mind frame of a 21-year-old. So I was still on some young shit.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm coming home, I got my homeboys, got my babies. I had niggas getting married. You know what I'm saying? That was the only thing that was really changing as far as me having to come back and transition to the world, because anything else pretty much still the same to me. Mm-hmm. So, but that's the only thing I came home to that was different. Niggas having babies or getting married and shit like that. I went to a couple of weddings and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, shit changed. Y'all niggas y'all got families and shit now. Y'all niggas settling down. But my mind frame, I'm still trying to catch up from 21. You know what I'm saying? Because at this time, I'm 25 now. I came home at 25. So I'm still on some young shit. I can't lie. That's the only thing I say my mind frame in transitioning into the streets was, because my mind frame was still young. Mm-hmm. I wanted to catch up. I still wanted to party. I still want to do this, do that.
Right, because your
childhood, I knew I couldn't do that.
Your
you know what I'm saying? Because everything was changing around me.
Yeah.
So what would you tell?
You know what I'm saying? It was a rat. Y'all.
So what would you tell somebody? Because like, if somebody listened to you and they be like, well, James did his time straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? He made the best of his time. He ain't seem like he made a transition. And what is a tough transition? I could do that. Like, I'm good. Like, what would you tell somebody like that? Like, yeah, I could go in and do that time easy. What would you tell somebody?
Well, just stay in your own lane, bro. Just stay in your own lane. Don't go in. See, niggas go in there trying to be something they not, bro. You know what I'm saying? I could have easily went in like, yeah, nigga, I robbed 5 niggas. Nigga, I'm a jack boy. Oh, I did this. I ain't even none of that. You know what I'm saying? Just stay true to yourself, bro. That's all I can tell somebody going into prison, the prison system. Like, don't let them break you, because you let them break you, you're gonna be broke for life. You're gonna be broke for life. Even if you come home, you're gonna still be broke, because you're gonna be. It's a lot of cats. They do all that time. They be institutionalized. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing else but prison, bro. And I refuse to allow myself to be institutionalized on any count. Like, I don't care if I did a year, to 4 years, to 10 years, to 20 years. I cannot allow myself to be institutionalized to subject to what's going on in this prison life. Because if you do that, you come home, you gonna go right back. Because you don't, and there be a lot of niggas who be getting released and don't want to come home, bro. Because they don't got nothing to come home to.
Wow.
They don't know what to do on the street. They're like, bro, I don't know what to do out here. I don't want to go.
That's deep.
What am I gonna do when I get to the street? All I'm gonna do is come right back. That's how it be. On some real shit, that's how it be. And niggas mind frame, they don't allow their mind to grow in there. That's why when I was in there, bro, I worked. I you know what I'm saying, I stayed active. You know what I'm saying? I was taking up programs. I was doing what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have no GED in that bitch, they make you take your GED in there. If you ain't got no diploma coming into prison systems, that's one thing you gotta know. If you don't have that, they're gonna make you take that shit before you go home.
Oh wow.
You ain't going home if you don't have no GED. Period, nigga.
I never knew that.
It's your best bet to come in there with that shit.
Hey, you just said something though that was really powerful to me. It's like, you know what I'm saying, while you was in there, you had to allow your mind to grow. And as you said, it's a lot of dudes who don't allow their mind to grow. So they end up leaving and they're institutionalized. And so, you know, they make that transition as much harder.
God bless you.
Yeah, and when I was another thing, when I was locked up too, when I was locked up too, bro, I swear to God, every day of my life, I think I told y'all in part 1, I did more thinking locked up than I did when I was on the street, bro. My mind had shut down literally, and I literally reread my whole life, transitioning it all the way up until how I got caught.
Greg, that's what you were saying on that last episode.
From being around people I shouldn't have been around, from dealing with females I should have been dealing with different situations, scenarios, just doing a lot of dumb stuff, because I always said it was meant for me to get locked up. I ain't say I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, but it was God's will, because he wanted to sit me down, because I was going to become a wild boy. If I would have stayed out there on the streets, bro, I was going to still get my money, but I was going to be on some wild shit.
He was a wild boy.
I wasn't going to live.
He was a wild boy.
Right.
So what was the one thing you said you was like, this is what I'm gonna change, this is what I'm gonna do differently once you got back out?
I said I was gonna be in my own lane. I was gonna make the steps I needed to make to get to where I need to be. And for the most part, I can say I did that, but it was hard, because when you got a family like mine, because I don't want to categorize everybody in the same, put everybody in the same category, being in the prison system, because everybody is different. But when you got a crime like mine, facing something like mine, if you don't have nothing set up for you coming home, as far as job placement or, family or friends,
support systems,
yeah, support system, all of that, you ain't gonna make it, bro. So, when I came home, of course, like I said, my mom, I love her to death, because I'm one of the best son before I left and went to prison. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was wild, I was disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care about nobody but myself. And I'm gonna be dead ass honest with you. I didn't care about nothing, bro. That was my mentality when I was out, because I was living a wild life, trying to be on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to be something I wasn't. You was only 21. I was 21. Only 21.
You didn't know how to think.
I knew it was only gonna get worse. At all. You know what I'm saying? Especially you around a bunch of niggas and y'all all on the same shit, doing you know what I'm saying? Just doing crazy shit. And that's what ended up happening. I got involved in something I shouldn't have been involved in. Got caught up in something I shouldn't have got caught up in. And it cost me my life. It cost me 4.5 years of my life. I always say, when I did that 4.5 years, time stopped for me. Time literally stopped for me when I did that 4.5 years, because nothing on the outside mattered to me. What am I doing on the outside? I'm on the inside. I gotta think about my life in here. You know what I'm saying? This is my life now, right now. Until it's time for me to go home, I gotta set my mind frame to be in here and getting about this bitch. Period.
You know what I want? I'm sorry.
I can't let.
I'm sorry. I want to let the audience know, like, man, this guy here is throughout his progression, like, I've known him for a long time. After that 4 years, he did not let his shit stop him. He's been working. He's a proud father now. He's a hell of a man. Like, so there's no excuse.
Yes.
You can all, if you want it, you can get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to be focused, and you have to have work ethic. You have to want better for yourself. And I can sit here and vouch to the people that this man here has been doing every bit of that ever since that transition from prison to the outside. And I will give you the biggest clap up, because you have been doing the goddamn thing, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. One more time.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. We're gonna launch a rocket for you, brother.
Right.
We taking off in 2021, man.
Guys going bananas with these sound effects, bro.
Yeah, man.
He got him on deck. I ain't never. heard these many sound effects in my life. That nigga, Speedy got him on deck.
So I got a question now. So
all the case.
So you're out of prison. You're back in the free world. Were you on probation or anything like that? Or I mean, I know parole board and stuff like that. How long were you on parole? Is that 2 years?
I was on parole for 2 years. 2 years. Parole is different from probation. Probation, you can get off at any time. Parole, you gotta do that whole time, and you gotta report. Literally, you gotta report. Now, some people, when they go to their parole officer, they gotta, you know what I'm saying, drop and all that. I ain't had to do none of that. And my parole officer was in Waterford. I had to drive all the way to Waterford every month. Then I had 4 different parole officers. Don't know why. Still don't know to this day why I had 4 different ones. They kept dropping, and I don't know what was going on, but I had literally 3 to 4 parole officers, and I used to always have to drive up to Waterford every month to report to them. And and at this time I was in school. I was back in college. I was taking psychology. I wanted to be a psychiatrist all my life. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do that. So I ended up taking up psychology at the University of Phoenix in Southfield. And as I'm going to see the parole officer, I'm telling him, and my restitution was like $900 something coming home. I had to pay like $900 something. I'm like, God, damn, y'all niggas killing them nigga. So basically, I think I had to pay like over $1,000 plus for that shit. And I was using my refund checks from school to pay for that shit because I didn't have no job. You know what I'm saying? So I was going to school. I went to school for 3.5 years. I went for 3.5 because my program was 4 years. I was getting my bachelor's in psychology, but my first 2 years was, it was hard. You know what I'm saying? Trying to transition in back into the street, trying to get into society, and then having to go back to school and get that done. And I say about like my third year, that's when my counselor, shout out to my counselor Dave at University of Phoenix, man. This man, he was the man. He sat down with me one day. He was like, "Look, I see you taking up psychology." Because I told him about my situation. I'm like, I just came home from prison. It's my first time back in school in some years. I ain't been in school since 2004, and I'm trying to take this course up. I want to take psychology. He like, well, I'm gonna be truthful with you, bro. He like, being that this is how I first start encountering situations with my felony, my crime. Right. And by me having the crime I had, it's considered as a violent crime. Mm-hmm. So you put that on the application or anything, ain't nobody trying to fuck with you, period, bro.
Right.
They're not trying. It ain't like it's a drug offense or a little petty domestic. We don't say it's a little petty shit. This is a full-fledged felony as far as a violent crime felony at that. So he was like, I'm gonna be truthful with you, man. Only thing you might be able to do in life is be a social worker. And they don't really make that much, or what I'm saying, it ain't really a good, and what I'm saying, you're gonna be mediocre, it's gonna be mediocre for you, you're gonna want to do that. Because with the nature of your crime, they're not gonna let you be no psychiatrist. So if I wanted to be a psychiatrist, I was gonna have to put that hard work in to go back to school. After I got my bachelor's, I was gonna go back to school just to get my master's, just to be certified to be a psychiatrist. Then I was gonna have to try to go get a loan from a bank or something, open up my own practice, and you already know how that was gonna, turn out. You know what I'm saying? It was gonna be a long ass journey.
Yeah, you have to do it your own way. Yeah.
And I was like, damn, bro, I want to do that, but I ain't really see it doing that way. I wanted to, get my degree, come out of school and go, find me a job to get my degree in. But it was like, shit, it was going to be basically a waste of a degree. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I was going to have a psychiatry degree and couldn't be a psychiatrist. Because if they would have found out my crime, my background, they weren't going to let me do it. You know what I'm saying? Unless I did everything on my own, period. Like, set up my own everything. I had to channel into that business aspect into learning how to, you know what I'm saying, get a business off the ground and all that. Then still practice my you know what I'm saying, my psychology, all that stuff. So it was like it was a transition into all that. And I still went along with the program. My third year at the school, I finally got my program, psychology. Had a few courses, had a couple courses here. And then my counselor, like I said, shout out to Dave, he was like, are you working? I'm like, no, bro, I'm not working. I'm trying to find a job, but I can't get no job because of my situation. He like, well, have you ever thought about working in a restaurant? And in my mind, I'm like, restaurant? Man, nigga, I don't want to work in no motherfucking restaurant. Fucking, you see me not doing like I want to work in a restaurant? That's in my mind.
See me?
that's what I really want to tell him. Like, nigga, what?
You see me?
But I had to humble myself. I'm like,
legend.
I'm like, right.
Yeah, hashtag humble yourself.
I accept it. You had to humble yourself. I'm like, yeah, I'll try though. You know what I'm saying? Because I need money. You know what I'm saying? I need to get some money. You know, school is cool and all, but I need that money. That's what I'm really. I ain't fuck all this other shit.
For sure.
Right. Because I had shit I wanted to do. So then he walked me over to TGI Fridays on Evergreen. Because my school was right there. It was right there in that building, right there next to it, next to Fridays. We walk over there to Fridays. He like, I'm about to get you a job right now today. I'm like, what? For real? How you gonna do that? Man, we walked in that bitch, bro. Asked the girl, the little host, like, let me talk to your manager. We ain't got the manager, bro. Swear to God, true story. Dave was like, this is my I forgot what he called. He's like, no, this is my student over at the University of Phoenix. He's a good man. He gave him my name and everything. And he was like, he's looking for a job. And then we want to know, are you guys hiring? So the manager was like, yeah, we're hiring. He can fill out an application. We'll call him back. True story, bro. They called me back for the interview. And I ain't gonna lie, I was the happiest man that day in life. Like, for real, I was happy as hell. I'm like, damn, I got a job now.
Yo, shout out to Dave, man.
Shout out to Dave.
Shout out to Dave, man.
Shout out to Dave, man. That was my dog, man.
Real talk, man.
That was my dog.
Somebody got your back, man.
Only white guy I really mess with like that. only white guy I mess with like that. And he was cool as hell, but he got me that job, bro. And swear to God, I started off as a host. I worked at TGI Fridays for 2.5 years. I started off as a host. True story. Started off as a host there. I was going to school still too and everything. And plus I was dealing with my women on the side. I was transitioning back into that, trying to get myself with that. Like, cause you know how females be. You just came home. So in their mind, they're like, oh, you ain't got no money. You ain't got no job. You ain't doing that. You ain't doing. Damn, man, give them that chance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, damn, like, it was crazy. But
give me a chance.
Like, I was going to school. Give me a chance. And, so, but me transitioning, working into Fridays, that's when I met my baby mama. And, Allie's mom. And I messed around with her for a few months or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then eventually she got pregnant. And by this time, I'm on parole by then because I did my 2 years. So I got off parole in 2012. By this time, I'm off parole and now I'm working. So I'm working and I'm in school. And I met my baby moms at Fridays because she was working there with me. And we ended up kicking it or whatever. She come telling me around May of 2012, she was pregnant. And just like the first situation, I embraced it. I'm like, damn, for real, straight up? All right, cool. True words out my mouth. I'm like, well, because at the time she was 20 years old. And by this time I'm 27. So I'm 7 years older than her, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, look, whatever you want to do, I'm with you. Whether you want to have an abortion or you want to keep it, I'm going to be by your side by any means, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So, of course, we went back and forth with that situation or whatever. Right, got to, man. So by this time, I'm still, you know what I'm saying, getting on the prison stuff out my mind and all that. You know, I'm back on the streets, you know, transitioning and everything. And my eyes are going on the right path and whatnot. So then after she hit me with the I'm pregnant, see, my first thing is I messed up. I should have started messing with her when she walked out on the job one day. And I told her, do not walk out on your job. I'm like, if you're going to quit your job, quit at the end of the night. Don't ever walk on your job because then you can't come back to that place and that's gonna be on your
It looks
resume.
bad on your resume.
Mhm.
Talk that shit. Drop
It
them
looks
bombs,
bad.
man. Drop
Mhm.
them gems, bro. Shit.
And she walked out. I'm like, this clown ass dog, man. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? I'm like, man, I'm all right. So that should have been a red flag right there. Like the bitch don't listen. So for real, bro. So it's transitioning into that. So then she gets pregnant. A few months later, she gets pregnant, whatever. So you know what I'm saying? I'm ecstatic, I'm happy, whatever. Like I said, whatever you're gonna do, I'm with you. So she going back and forth, but keeping it, and you know what I'm saying, aborting it, all this other shit. So then, uh, of course, we end up keeping, you know what I'm saying, my baby Olivia.
Shout out
Olivia,
to Allie.
we end up keeping her, thank God, you know what I'm saying, allow me to actually get to be a father like I wanted to from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like I was supposed to be from the beginning. You know, and I was thankful for that. I was there. I was at every doctor's appointment, bro. I was at every appointment, everything. Ultrasound, I was there. Everything she needed, I was at that bitch. I go to the doctor's appointment, then go to work after that shit. I had to end up dropping out of school because she didn't want to work no more. She didn't want to find no job. She didn't want to do shit. She just took it as I'm pregnant. Fuck it, I'm here. Nigga, it's all on you now. I'm like,
Oh
well,
no,
okay.
no.
So I had to eventually, right.
Wait a
So I had
minute.
to,
Whoa,
yeah,
wait a minute.
I had to
Stop
eventually
the
drop
record.
out of school.
My bad. I can't.
Bro,
I'm getting too excited
You
about
st-
the sound effects, man.
True story, bro. True story. Bitch didn't want to do shit, bro. So I didn't force her to do nothing with her. I had to, I had to eventually stop working at. I had to stop going to school because it was weighing too much on me. I had too much. I'm like, once again, I got too much on my plate. This shit about to stress me out because I was going to school, taking care. You know, I was working, then taking care of her ass, doing, you know what I'm saying, her sport ass. So. And you know, so of course my schooling ended up getting messed up because I had one more year. I'm still mad to this day. I wish I would have stayed in, got that one last year in, so I would have had my bachelor's in psychology. But I ended up switching my major in the midst of my my major. I switched my major to business science, science of business, whatever it was. I don't even know what the purpose of that was. I'm like, it's just a business management class. Why don't y'all just say that? I don't know what science of business had to do. I don't know what science and business had to do with each other as far as being coherent in the same thing. So I'm just like, I took that up because I'm like, man, I'm about to make my own business. Fuck this shit, bro. I started thinking about different things to come up with. So I switched my course up. But like I said, it started weighing heavy on me so much with stress, the school, then my baby mama stressing me out, then work. I had to stop that. Then I'm like, I need more money. So I'm like, I had to stop school and go full time to work. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go to work full time. While like I said, while she's sitting at home doing nothing.
Not doing that with yourself. Get up and
So
do
we
something
end up
with
getting in
yourself.
an argument one day. I'm not doing shit, bro.
Get up. You sitting there on the couch, not doing that with yourself.
You need to call the Everest man.
For
right.
real.
Yeah, what was that commercial that used to come on TV? Yeah, you sit on the couch, concentrate. What was it?
You're sitting there watching me. Get up and do something with your goddamn self. You ain't doing shit with yourself. You ain't doing shit with yourself. You know what I'm saying? But while we're on the topic of doing something with yourself,
at all. So
while we're on the topic of doing something with yourself, ladies and gentlemen, please go log into livequalityminutes.com. Get you some merch. Hard Work Hall of Fame, man. This is a Hard Work Hall of Fame story right here, brother. Y'all don't even understand. Link in bio. Continue.
I gotta get my merch, man. Yes.
Oh, you already
yes.
know.
So,
You already know.
So yeah, I'm pretty much transitioned on the, you know what I'm saying, back into the society or whatnot. And but I'm still back in my mind. I still had the prison shit in my mind because it was still fresh in my mind because I can't believe I was still locked up. I'm like, oh, I can't believe I did. I still can't believe I did 4.5 years. But I don't even know how I had 4.5 years in me to do in a prison system, bro. First time being locked up ever in life and did a 4-piece and did that shit without no drama,
Unscathed.
nothing, bro. I didn't.
Unscathed.
What?
Did he freeze up?
And that shit got solved every time, bro. It got solved every time because I had people watching my back, bro. I had people watching my back, and they did that shit in the instant, quick. So I didn't have no major problems in there. Ain't nobody confront me on shit. Ain't nobody try to stab a nigga. Ain't nobody try to do shit to him.
That's a blessing, man.
Hey, man, but I think that, I think we all would agree that, prison is not a place. Hold on one second. Hey! God damn it. Hey! Shit, man. I think, hey! Come here.
Dad mode.
So I think we all would agree that prison is certainly not a place that people should go. It's not a place for anybody should go. But there was a lot of lessons that I got from the story that you was telling. Especially when you go in a bad situation, just kind of mind your business and just don't do nothing extra.
Yeah.
Don't lie. Don't go in there lying. Don't go in there telling tales, trying to be something you're not. Just be yourself and be authentically yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I think that'll be helpful. Build relationships, connect with people, because ultimately it worked out for your benefit because things were handled and you didn't even really know they got handled. You know what I'm saying? People were just looking out for you. So I appreciate you telling me.
Yeah, man.
Now
I got a question now. So you've been
out.
out.
Yeah, man. I was
2010. So it's been what?
2010. So I've probably been out
11 years now.
About 10, 11 years. Yeah.
So my question.
This will be 11 years now, this year.
So do you still run into problems as far as employment where they still look at your felony and shit like that? Does it still affect
Yes.
Can you get it?
Yes, true story. No, I went to 2 expungement seminars. I went to 2 of them. I went to 2 seminars as far as 2 programs for expungement. That's how I found out I had 2 felonies. I thought the armed robbery and the conspiracy was one thing. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a charge apiece. It was one. So it's 2. I got 2 felonies connected. So the armed robbery is one felony, and the conspiracy and armed robbery is another felony. So that's 2 felonies I got. So they said I was disqualified to get my record expunged due to the fact that I had 2 felonies on my record. So after that second time, bro, I kind of I didn't really give up, but I let it go for a minute because I'm like, I didn't have, I swear, bro, everything I love, y'all. Since I've been home out this 10, going on 11 years, I had over 20 plus jobs. Literally, I can run out every last one of them.
It's folks out here who can't find one.
Right. So don't ever tell me you
can't find
a job.
Complaining they can't find one.
He got 2 felonies and he's had over 20 jobs, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to hear your lazy asses talk about you can't find no job. Stop it.
And went to school for 3.5 years. And went to school for 3.5 years.
Up for this nigga right here.
Definition of making every minute count and Hard Work Hall of Fame, man. That's
real talk, man.
No excuses. No excuses.
Lazy mother boobs out here talking about I can't find a job. Your pride is pride.
Listen, I think that I feel like you just inspired a shirt, man. A no excuses shirt, man. That's what we might need to put out. A no excuses shirt.
Oh, you know yes. Beautiful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like it.
Beautiful. I like it. Yeah.
No excuses.
At all. For real.
Chances make champions, baby.
Because I didn't all day. I didn't do it all, bro. I didn't been, and when I came home, I said 2013, I got another case, but it was a DUI. And that kind of set me back a little bit too. In that miss, I was kind of stressed. And again, I was hanging out knowing I should have been doing what I was supposed to be doing, what I was doing, and got caught by some shit again and ended up catching a DUI off that. Came out of like 6 G's, lost 6,000 off that off top. That set me back a little bit. Yeah,
that's what we talking about, Frank, about is like
the
the cost of being locked up, man. You had mentioned like, the 10,000 on the attorney. You had mentioned like the money that you spent like with parole and like what other fines and fees did you end up having to pay like as a result of your incarceration?
That was about it. Yeah, because the restitution was like 900, it was like 1,000 plus. That was it. Just that restitution, and then like I said, the 10,000 for the lawyer, and all that extra shit. And you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of money wasted, bro. Like a lot of money that could have been saved. Cause I really say, if I was still on the streets, bro, my life would be way different than what it is now. Because I would have been doing something that I really was passionate about doing. You know what I'm saying? Back then, about what I wanted to do, I would have been doing that. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, I would have got my young mind frame stages or whatever. But at the end of the day, dog, I always had a job. I had a job when I was in high school. I worked at Myers when I was at high school. I worked at Myers when I was at high school. So I always basically kind of like had a job. I didn't really have to have no job because, like I said, my mom took care of me and my sister or whatever because we didn't have no father. He chose to go do his thing. So,
but James, like, here's the thing. You talked about like if you wouldn't have been locked up, like you would have had these things. It makes me think of what Hove said. He said Hove did that, so hopefully you don't even have to go through that. So that's what I think about your situation. Like James did that, so you can tell your story and you can utilize your story somehow to ensure that these young cats out here who you talking about wild or even sharing your story on this platform right here, people can hear your story and understand like you don't have to go through that, man. You don't have to, you can make choices right now so you could avoid having to go through what I had to go through. So I appreciate that.
And you know what I was just thinking about, man?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good thing. I'm not sure. Is Michigan like a three strike state? Because luckily,
no, we don't have that. No, we don't.
You feel me? Because just sake of argument, knock on wood. I'm not saying it ever will happen. Say for instance, you went to moved to the West Coast or some shit, dog, and got what I'm saying, an accident might have you get a felony. You would be in there for life, wouldn't you?
No, I don't know. I don't know if they still have 3 strikes in place. I don't know if they still do, but according to those laws, like back in, I think like in the early 90s is when 3 strike rules were in place. But yeah, according to that laws, 3 strikes, 3 felonies, like you was in there for that L.
Sheesh.
Right. So
Jesus Christ.
So and my crime carried a life sentence because that's like I said. I started learning about all these different crimes. Like I learned my crime was a floater. Floater mean it can carry from anywhere from what I had, the time I had, to all the way up to life. So I basically was facing 4.5 years to 25 years in prison.
Big ass.
So if I
gap.
go back, so say I get another case right now, right? Big ass guy. So you floating that. So when you say I call another case today, right? And I had to do a 5-year bid, or even a 3-year bid, that's gonna tacked on to my last sentence what I just did. So every time I get locked up and gotta go to prison, it's gonna carry on until that 25 years has been met.
Holy shit.
So I got a floater. So my shit's a floater.
Wow.
So it's basically like my West said, a 3 strike, because shit, the more and more you go to jail, you're accumulating all that time, and it's you still got that tail. See, what I got is a tail. They call what I got is a tail. That 25 or that life, that's a tail. So I had 51 months to that 25 years, which was my tail. So that tail was with me for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
So it's like I always try to stay out of that, being in trouble and doing shit I ain't got no business doing like that to get me going back to prison. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I got that tail. Because every time, and people don't know, every time you get in trouble, right? Like say in my situation, my felony. Say you get put in jail for some little bullshit, domestic violence or some shit like that. When you go to court, they're gonna bring back your old shit. Everything you did in your past, they bring that shit back up. They got like, well, he was locked up with such and such. Like, damn, I ain't got shit to do with this case now. What y'all talking about that for? They making it out to be out because you a menace. They want you to be a menace.
Oh yeah.
They want you to be considered as a menace. They're like, oh, he can't stop getting in trouble. Look what he did 10 years ago. He was in there for armed robbery. You know what I'm saying? That's a major crime. It wasn't like it was no drug charge or no petty shit. It was a violent crime. So they gonna care that, oh, he did this.
Hey, James, you know, it's the sick part of that. You know what the super sick part of that is? Like, if you are the victim of a crime, right? Like if you are a victim of something, they'll still bring up your you know what I'm saying, your past.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they did with Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin got shot and killed by George Zimmerman. And so they were bringing up all his past misdeeds. They tried to do that with George Floyd. Like they kept bringing up all the stuff.
Floyd.
So they did that's the sick shit about it. Like, you know, they gonna do it if you are on trial, but even if you're a victim, they gonna be like, well, James, you know, he got this, you know, this armed robbery. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And try to throw you under the bus. Exactly.
Yeah. They don't give you no positive outcome. They always dig up your negative. They always trying to find a negative. They don't care about the positive. You could be out here doing something positive, giving back to the community every damn day. But just like you said, George Floyd, say he was doing that, giving out to the community every day. But then they bring his, oh, well, he used to be a felon. He used to do this. He used to steal checks and fraud, do this and do it. Like, nigga, he ain't doing that no more. Why y'all bringing that up? He changed his life, obviously.
Donald Trump still hasn't showed us his tax returns.
He did.
Oh, he did.
We did. Yeah. We right before that that last debate is around the time like everybody was seeing his tax returns and noticed that like he was not paying much taxes.
Skimming off top.
Oh yeah. He was definitely
right.
You know, definitely getting over.
Like, put his ass in jail. Shit, put his ass in jail. Shit, you made everybody
supposed to, but they ain't saying nothing. No. That's a crime. You know what I'm saying? You did something illegal. Shit.
It is.
So yeah, that's another thing. Like doing prison time, bro. When you come home, it messes up your life in so many ways. Like, you know what I'm saying? It affects your life in so many ways, and it carry through your life for the rest of your life. And if you got that right mind frame and want to transition and change and stuff like that, man, you're gonna be through out here. You're gonna be on the same shit, robbing niggas, stealing from niggas, killing niggas, selling drugs. You're gonna do the same. You're gonna be on the same shit, bro. Mm-hmm. If you ain't trying to make that change, you're gonna come back out here doing the same shit. That's to anybody. I don't care if you're young, old, whatever. You're doing the same shit, bro.
Yo,
if your mind ain't trying to change.
Hey, listen, I think that's some good advice because I got to wrap it up over on my end, man. But I think that's a good place to stop, man. Like that's some good advice. You know what I'm saying?
Jim, for your ass.
Yeah.
With that,
right.
That last closing statement that he said there, ladies and gentlemen, that is the reason why we brought Mr. Brown here today to give you guys information on what to and what not to do. To let you know that it's always a will in the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you're mentally stable enough to not give up, don't ever give up on yourself.
You
gotta be positive on everything you do, man. Make your minutes count, no matter what the situation is, your circumstances. You got to do it for you. You got to do it for your family, because now he's a father. You know what I'm saying? His daughter is watching his every move, and he's a great dad as well.
Yes,
so
indeed.
I commend you, brother. I thank you so much for showing up on the show, but we can't kill him off. We can't cut it off.
Appreciate y'all.
No.
Because Mr. Donnell Jones over here, we got to jump in quality music selection right now, because I need to know what kind of shit he was banging.
Oh yeah, James. Yeah, we do this every episode. What's your quality? We always make quality music recommendations, man. So let me tell you, what was that joint that you was listening to in there that was your go-to joint, man? Was it the Donnell?
Bro, on some real shit though, I never was out the street. I can't say, bro. I listen to that bitch every day, album every day, dog. I swear to God. That was my first time listening to that album when I got locked up. Because, you know what I'm saying? It was out prior to me, you know, being on the street. I never listened to it. I heard that one song from, well, 2 songs Donnell Jones had. I never listened to the album because I ain't get to him like that. But when somebody gave me that album one day, I think I bought it from him. Like, let me get that. I might exchange it or something. And I listened to it that day. I'm like, damn. Nigga, I listened to that shit front and back. I'm like, this album cold as hell. Nigga Donnell going in on this.
Because I saw Donnell Jones 2 summers ago, man. At a concert in Greensboro, North Carolina, man. It was Donnell Jones, Genuine, Shy. Remember Shy? Drew Hill.
Damn.
Oh, you was jamming in that joint.
That must slap then. Right.
Oh, man.
That must slap.
And Next.
Damn, I wish I was there.
And Next.
And Next. That's a hell of a
podcast.
You're dancing kind of close.
For you.
That nigga sound just like RL.
Ooh, don't tell me that. Hey, them Cougars in there was going crazy.
That's my joint
I
right
know
there.
that must slap that night.
Yeah, man, it was the
right there,
R&B throwdown or whatever. It was something like that.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
All right.
Hurry up, world, and open back up so we can get some more concerts going.
Yes, sir. All right. So yeah, you
man,
got a
real.
quality music recommendation. What you listening to right now that you can recommend to the people?
Right now, I got a Sooner Than Later Marv 1. He's talking that shit on there. Shout out to you, Marv, man. Camp Low is my shit, brother. I rock with it 100%.
Hey, I remember Camp Low.
Yeah, he got a song called Camp Low on that joint, man. He be talking crazy on that bitch. He should be. Oh, Marv is going to be a guest on our podcast in the upcoming weeks as well. Shout out to Marv 1.
Shout out to Marv 1.
Yeah, no.
Shout out.
What about you, James? You got a recommendation?
Shoot, man, I've been shit lately. I've really been on my city shit, man. But you know, only people I really listen to like is people from the city. But my main dog is Young Dolph, man. That's the only rapper.
Shout out to Dolph, man.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dolph, man. That was our last concert we went to see, nigga, before the pandemic hit, dog. Me and this nigga G and Darnell. We went to go see that nigga Dolph, man. Before the pandemic hit us, shut everything down. St. Andrews, who was in that bitch rocking. Hey, low key, low key on some real shit. We might have caught COVID that night in that bitch because that was about the time, you know, before everything had shut down and started breaking down and everything. But we didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? We was just still living life. Because ain't nobody wearing masks and all that shit. And we was in the concert. And you already know, all the niggas in that bitch, it was it was rocking. But y'all, shout out to Young Dolph. That's my favorite rapper right now. Listen to right now, man. Been listening to for a while now.
Let's see. I'm gonna recommend if you can get your hands on it. And Greg reminded me recently, and I was just listening to it. I was like listening to it last weekend. It's a mixtape Mo Dirty did. I forgot what year it was. It might have been like 2008, 2009.
Talk about Dirty Motown.
Dirty Motown. That's a fire mixtape, man. So
I was actually on that mixtape.
Yeah, I think you can find it on Spotify. But Dirty Motown featuring Young Yak. Young Yak is on there. But yeah, it's a good mixtape. I forgot how good it was until recently. So man, James, we appreciate you, man, coming on the show. Appreciate you telling your story, man. I'm sure a lot of folks are gonna get a lot from it, man, from hearing.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Man, James, we appreciate you, legend.
Show.
Yes, indeed, man. So that's it from us, man. Quality Minutes
Podcast.
Podcast.
Man, you know what I'm saying? The King James.
Making every minute that counts what it's all about,
where
man.
my powder at, man? I gotta hit y'all nigga with the powder.
The powder.
Hit y'all nigga with the powder.
All right, man. I'll holler at y'all, man.
All right, fellas, in a minute, my guys.
All right, man.
Hell yeah.